But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Roll call. Opie here.
Anthony present.
Jimmy?
Right here, Opie.
All right. Who called in gay today? That's what we're getting at.
Anyone?
I didn't forget.
Did anyone call in gay?
Sunbrain, are you here?
I'm here, sir.
Danny?
Brain.
Oh, Danny. All right, Danny's here.
I'd accounted for. How about that gay kid that works here, Travis? He's got the wife who's a beard.
Right here.
Hey, Travis made it in. All right.
I was sure he wasn't going to be in for gay day. Don't come to work if you're gay day. What is it? A day without gay? They're calling it.
Yeah.
A day without gay.
The whole country's supposed to, stop in its tracks.
If you're gay, you don't come into work, you don't buy anything, then you're supposed to show that the economic impact that gays have in this country, and that kind of says, hey, don't screw with us, we're a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Well, you can screw with us, figuratively.
Like you
Could you take some of that packing tape and put it over my mouth for the rest of the day there, Jimmy?
Wow. I was ready to give you a compliment.
Yeah.
You said it best yesterday when you said, don't get your hair cut today.
It's best to get those over with early in the show.
Because when you think gay, you think Broadway, you think
hairstylists,
haircuts,
interior decorators.
What's some of those other gay jobs? They work pretty good.
Wedding planner.
Flight attendant.
Yeah, flight attendant.
Yeah, you're not going to get the good service if you're flying out today, I guess.
Well,
Interior designer.
I said interior decorator.
Yeah.
Executive producer.
Did Steve call in today?
Where is Steve?
We're doing roll call, man.
Boy, everyone managed to drag themselves out of bed.
Do you know what I was giggling at? I just kept thinking of doing a roll call that you were going to call these names, and then because Steve's not in the room, I thought you were just going to yell Steve, and then hit crickets.
Look, Steve had to come in just to show he's here.
Exactly. He's not showing us he's here. He's showing the gays that I don't listen to all the rules.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm a rebel.
I'm a rebel in the gay community. What about Sam and E-Rock? Did they call in gay?
They sure did.
They called in gay? They're not here?
Sam? Did I see Sam?
Mm-hmm.
And E-Rock?
E-Rock, are you present?
Wow.
E-Rock? E-Rock.
Oh, there's E-Rock.
All right. And Sam?
I'm here.
And Sam made it. Very good.
No one on our staff called in gay.
Stuntbrain said there is somebody that called in sick today.
Yeah.
Or called in gay.
Yeah, Alberto called in this morning.
Really?
Yeah, and he had the real bad
Wait. You got to explain who Alberto is.
Alberto runs the board on the K-Rock side of things here. He inserts the commercials and stuff.
Right, so when we go to break, he does all that stuff for us.
Yeah.
So he called in gay today?
Well, he called in and he said, I have a really bad sore throat.
I
and I
bet
said,
you do.
did you forget what today is? And he got very upset.
Oh, no. See, that's what the problem's going to be now, because people are going to go, well, you were very brave.
Every day people call in sick.
Yeah, but we warned everyone. Today is the day. If you even have the flu, you get out of bed and then show your face at work.
I told him we accept him.
Because they're going to be talking behind your back for the next year if you don't. Until the next call-in gay day.
Oh, I'm so offended by just listening to this talk.
Are you?
Yeah.
I know where you're leading to.
Oh, please.
We have a dummy. Can we get her on the phone?
Yeah, I got to get her.
Please.
We have a dummy that called
listened.
Stuntbrain yesterday after the show. This is why I don't think we really should try hard on our radio show, because...
When did you plan on starting?
Well, we could just read from a nursery rhyme book and get
We should do that.
the same thing accomplished every morning.
That's what I do at bedtime. Huddle.
Because then you get people that call and don't have a clue what's going on with our show.
No. They listen with half an ear, as they call it.
Well, why don't we get right into this complaint call that came in after the show?
Oh, no.
It's a stunt brain.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh, listen to this, Jimmy.
It's crazy.
They don't get dumber than this broad.
Hi, Mike. My name is Marcy. I'm a listener of your station. Occasionally, I catch the Andy and Opie show in the morning, but rarely.
First problem. Occasionally, I catch the Andy and Opie show in the morning. If you don't get the name of the show right, you don't catch it.
No. And
You don't know the show, or you're deaf, or just stupid. It says in Mayberry. My name's Anthony. Opie's been called Opie since he was a little tyke.
I'm not happy about it.
We're
But
just
what are you going to do?
It's the Opie and Anthony show. I understand it does have a kind of familiar ring to it with the Opie and Andy kind of Mayberry thing. But if you listen for 3 seconds, you'll understand it's Opie and Anthony.
Did you ever have a nickname?
Douchebag.
All right, Opie and Douchebag.
That's the new name of the show.
Well, I backed it up here, so listen to this.
It's not the Opie and Hair Plug show. Shut up.
Hair restoration, right, Aunt?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
catch the Andy and Opie show in the morning, but rarely because I'm at work. I just happened to hear an advertisement on your station for the Andy and Opie show, which I think is something that's going to be occurring tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's something called Call In Gay Day. I have to tell you, I find this so incredibly offensive, sexist, and against every human right imaginable. And I just want to express my deep disappointment in your programming.
Could I just
Holy,
right there?
She thinks
This dummy.
she thinks we came up with Call In Gay Day.
I wish we had,
That's a brilliant bit.
but we hadn't. You know who came up with it? Gays. The gay. They came up with it.
This is a real thing that the gay community came up with.
It's not a bit. It's in the paper. The gays decided, like occasionally African Americans decide, or some other group that wants to show that they have a power base in this country, to not go to work and not purchase anything to show that their dollars make a difference in this country. So they take the day off. They go on strike pretty much, and it really never works. By the way, these things never make an impact. This is just you go about your daily business and you don't see a difference. But they came up with this. We didn't make this up, you dummy.
And I just want to express my deep disappointment in your programming, allowing these two people to promote this on the air.
About Jimmy.
And it continues the hatred and the disaster that this entire world is in.
Yep. Is it?
I would appreciate a call back. Okay. I will be writing a letter.
All right.
To the director of your company, to the director of programming.
Write your letter.
Quite sure.
Write your letter, you. Oh, God, one started with an F, one started with a C.
Raising some valid points.
Is she?
About human rights.
Shut it.
These are the people that get radio shows fired.
It's amazing.
I'm writing a letter. It's 2008. Send an email, dunce.
Who opens up stupid letters anymore?
Ugh. When was the day? When was the day you cried in your bed when that hubby left you? Because you're just an annoying bitch. When did it happen? I want to know the day. I want to know the day he just walked out of your life for being the annoying Budinsky you are.
Well,
Jesus.
At this point, I would read a nice witty line from Stephen S. from Bayshore, but I'm hearing that he called in sick today. So
did he?
We will not be reading any instant feedbacks from Stephen S. from Bayshore.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
A few people missing from Pal Talk here. What happened? You calling in ye?
No surprise that Stephen S. from Bayshore has called in sick today.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Here's more of the complaint call.
Of programming. I'm not quite sure what your title is, but
Dummy.
thank you for your listening to this message, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you in person because
Why?
I just can't let this rest.
You
I'm
can't.
not gay, but I really don't have any gay friends. But I know when I hear something offensive, and this is deeply, deeply offensive to every human being. Thank you.
Every human being. How about...
Not every human being.
How about, regardless of what you think of us, dummy, we're human beings, technically. Biologically, we're human beings. And we were not offended in the least by it. All the gay people that actually are taking place in this, they're not offended by it. Again, another self-important jackass that thinks she knows what everyone else in the country's thinking. Ugh! God, humanity, so doomed. We're so doomed.
Can we get her on the phone, Stump Brain?
Travis is trying to call her now.
All right, and Travis, what do you got? Travis running in.
Is she at work, or is she calling Guy?
There's no answer, but it sounds like it might be her work number that she left.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to keep trying, but...
All right, let's try to get this dummy on the air.
Oh, God.
It does show you, though, what happens when somebody listens to one little piece, takes it out of context.
Yeah.
Like, she's just an example of somebody who called. There are people that, would write a letter and never call.
Right.
And then all of a sudden a letter came into the station. What was that thing you guys did? Yeah. And it's like, well, they wouldn't even ask you. They just put a little file of complaints, and then 2 or 3 more of those ill-informed complaints come in, and you got a problem.
Right.
Next thing you know, you're getting fired.
Because some dummy writes a letter that doesn't even know what the hell they're talking about.
Nutty as a fruitcake.
That's right.
Oh, that woman. Got a mouth like an outboard motor. All the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we deal with.
Shut it.
We deal with dummies.
Take your stationery and your pen and give yourself a paper cut and then jab yourself in the eye.
Yeah.
That would hurt.
I would really like to wrap this up with a cute little line from Stephen S. from Bayshore, but unfortunately he had to call in sick today.
Yeah.
So maybe someone else could step up and be Stephen S. from Bayshore today, because for some reason he's missing in action.
Stephen Ass from Bayshore.
Stephen Ass.
That's what he is today.
I'm proud of him.
Why? It's actually Gay Shore.
Stephen Ass from Gayshore.
I'm 40, and I couldn't wait to get out gay instead of bay.
Sometimes it's the simple ones that work, though, Jimmy.
Yes.
Were you kidding? All right, we're going to do a quick break. We got the phones ringing.
I want to know, Jason, stay on the line, because I want to know how I made Fezzi cry yesterday.
Yeah, we'll find that out next. So, yeah, Jason,
feel
stay
bad.
there. And if you want to get in today, 877-212-O&A. Opie and Anthony. Morning. Opie and Anthony.
Hi.
It's Calling Gay. We didn't make this up. Some dumb listener thinks we made it up.
And found it so offensive.
But
I don't even understand.
dummy.
Even if we did make it up, what's so offensive about it? Just shut it.
I wish we made it up.
Oh.
We would have done this years ago.
You obnoxious clam.
You
No.
clump.
Ugh. Enough with you.
Jason in Tennessee has something for Anthony. Jason, how are you?
Hey, Jason.
What's up, Jason?
How you doing, man?
Good, you. Hey, Anthony.
Yes.
When you called Ron and Fez show about the little chick from Harry Potter show
Yes.
and her new movie being nude,
Yep.
well, Fez had been having a bad day. He screwed the phones up. Then you called in and tell him that anybody that says they're not going to that movie to see her naked is an effing liar.
Yeah.
So there, when you got off the phone, Fez fell apart crying.
Oh, Jesus, because then I went in the house and I wasn't able to listen to the rest of the shows because I called in.
Right.
Yeah.
I like calling into the Ron and Fez show on my drive home. I listened to those guys, and I was making a comment because little Hermione.
I know, we were supposed to talk about this yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, we can still talk about it. I mean, little Hermione.
From the Harry Potter.
From the Harry Potter series.
Sure.
She's 18 years old. And now they asked her, I guess, because Harry Potter there is in Equus, here on Broadway or in England.
Wherever.
Where is it? Is
Who
it here
knows?
on Broadway now?
Where's he showing off his piece?
Yeah. He apparently gets a little naked in it. Actually fully naked for a little bit. Oh, my God. And so now, what's her name? Emma Watson? She turned 18, and they asked her, if a role comes about that calls for you to be naked, would you take the role? And she said, yeah, it depends on the role, but she's not against that. And the second I heard that, there was a release. And then
You started writing a movie.
yeah, right. I know. Page 1, you get naked. I'm really working on this, Emma. Let me let you know, I got a kind of a script that I'm work in progress. Here's page 1. You take clothes off.
Yeah, let's just get that out of the way.
And then we'll just work on the rest of the script. So I was listening to Ron and Fez, and as they're discussing it, there was a lot of talk about, especially from Fez. He said that it's kind of creepy that because we watched her grow up in the Harry Potter movies, that he kind of feels like it's more like she's a niece kind of a thing, that you wouldn't want to see your niece grow up and then be naked and stuff. And I'm driving just kind of going, what? First of all, she's cute. She's
all right.
Of age.
It would be cool to see her naked.
That's another thing. It's just one of those things. It would be cool to see it. I think she's a little more than she's cute. She's not one of these gorgeous things because she's still, age 18.
She's cute.
Yeah, she's cute.
Not big for the razor, though, according to this picture.
No, wow, yeah, well.
That's how those English fly sometimes.
Worst.
You can see a lot through
That's
what
all right.
she's, whatever.
Kidding? That whole thing smells like bubblegum and homework. It's
Not really.
wonderful. No?
No,
Yes.
not without a razor.
Yes.
It smells like my uncle's head.
Wonderful.
You kiss your uncle on the head when he's infirmed?
Jesus. Where's your uncle been?
It smells like my winter hat after I wore it for a month.
There you go.
But, so then I said, because then, Dave got into it and everything, and no one was really being honest. And I called up and just said, hey, who doesn't want to see this chick naked? She's 18 years old. She's cute. Of course you want to see her naked. And even Ronnie, I was saying, because Ronnie said something to the effect of, you don't go to the movie to see her naked. She's playing a role. You go to the movie to see the movie, and then, she just happens to get naked in it. And I even said to Ronnie, I was like, no. I go, if she's in a movie, what would I give a crap about the movie she's in? I just want to see her naked.
You would just get the screen caps. You wouldn't even go to the theater.
That is exactly it. So
Yeah.
apparently,
Well, the good part about this whole thing was after he starts crying, Ron says, it's because Anthony called you a liar. Anthony should have called in and called you a liar.
I
he
also
just
said it was
booing.
creepy. I said it was creepier that Fez said that she's more like a niece.
Yeah, that is
to him
really creepy.
than me saying an 18-year-old little actress girl, starlet, that I'd like to see her naked.
You're not supposed to get really attached to these people that are
Right.
in movies.
So I said it was kind of creepy, and then I said everybody was being full of, crap because they're not fessing up and saying, of course you want to see it. It almost is like a legal taboo thing. You did watch her grow up, but now she's of age, and you see her naked.
Absolutely.
So
Remember when you got to see Alicia Milano naked for the first time? It's kind of
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa, sorry, it's early. Alyssa Milano. How cool was that? And we saw her grow up.
It was great. There's so many little starlets. Dana Plato, before she
not
got
so much.
dead.
She looked a little cracky.
A little cracky.
Alyssa Milano, though, when we got to finally see her naked.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's good.
You're onto
Them
something.
other naked little starlets that grew up that was so naked.
I met Melissa Milano the day I met Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
The day I met Ozzy in '97 at MTV. They were both being interviewed. She had very hairy arms.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, we do.
that you probably have to shave the arms.
Sure.
That's
all I meant.
I didn't know exactly what it means. Throw her into a laser treatment facility immediately. Keep those pants on until you go to a laser treatment facility and get those arms fixed.
Italian last name says it all.
Of course.
Oh, jeez.
Well, yeah.
Shaving twice a day.
Oh, it's awful.
Looks like Fred Flintstone's mouth.
Oh, it's awful. It's like walking around with your own little safety net. And it falls out. Yuck.
Naked in movies, always good. Here's Miguel from New Jersey.
Yep.
Miguel.
Anthony, what's up, man?
Hey, bro.
You ever watch Zack and Miri Make Porn, that movie that came out a little while ago?
Starring Jim Norton.
Yeah. I saw it. Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing is, anybody who's naked, you always want to see it. Somebody make a porno with Rosie O'Donnell naked. Just be like, fuck, I want to see Rosie O'Donnell naked.
Wow.
It doesn't make a difference who it is.
I'm with Miguel. I would love to see Rosie.
Dude,
yeah, I would love to see her naked.
I'd watch a porno if one of you guys made it.
Yeah,
it would. It's funny to watch your friends
Would
bang.
be funny.
Of course it would be.
Christina Ricci. She was a little girl in the Addams Family, and then showing off her naked body.
She grew up nice, right?
Wonderful. Little Drew Barrymore from E.T.
Yes.
She wound up with some big Major League cans.
Big knockers.
And
of the sloppy variety, by the way.
Yeah. And no problem seeing that. No problem seeing that naked. You weren't sitting there feeling all creepy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's because I wasn't personally calling poor emotional wreck Fezzi a liar. I just said everyone in the studio wasn't quite being honest with this thing. And then Fez lost it.
I don't know. I wasn't listening yesterday.
Could we get the tape of that for some point today? Because I would love to hear that.
Yeah, that'll be good. What about Brooke Shields? When she grew up, she got naked.
Brooke Shields got naked when she was
Pretty baby. She was great.
When she was not grown up, she got naked.
When she grew up, because then she started doing commercials as a baby.
Yeah. And then she was in that Blue Lagoon.
Sure.
She was in Pretty Baby. What was that picture you just popped up there?
Oh, my goodness.
That's Christina Ricci.
From what movie?
Look at that.
Good
Holy
God.
Mother of Jesus.
What movie is that from, Danny?
I'm not sure, actually.
Holy.
Her rack is phenomenal.
Get it immediately.
My
and
God.
she's kind of slumped over a little, and they're still
And they're still rocking.
How big and heavy they look. Those have weight to them. Those are full.
Weighty. She had reduction surgery because they had gotten so big.
Really?
And she was chubby for a while there, growing up. She went through a chubby phase, and then, I don't know, they pushed all the chubby fat up to her forehead and left the body perfect.
Yeah, what happened to her forehead?
She needs bangs. She really does.
She's one of those girls that need bangs.
She has a dumb moon face. A big dumb moon face.
Dumb moon face.
Hey, moon face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, who's that girl that is in Charles in Charge?
Wow.
That blonde. She's another one. She wasn't all that young. It wasn't like, when they're infant young and then, like if one of the Olsen twins decided to take it off.
Yeah, following Fezzi's logic, if the Olsen twins decide to get naked, you're not looking, you're not going checking that out. Are you kidding me?
I even said, like, if you have a girlfriend and she shows you home movies of when she was a kid, then what? You're not allowed to have sex with her or see her naked because you saw her on film as a kid? It's like, stop it.
Stop it.
According to Fezzi's logic, Woody Allen's a pervert.
Right. Oh.
Well.
And then Dave wasn't being honest when Ronnie asked him about any up and comers. Any up and comers that he sees perhaps now, because Dave said, oh, well, Drew Barrymore, he said he saw her as a kid and thought, wow, she's going to be hot. And he goes, but that's like the last one I can think of. And it's like, you're just trying to be politically correct. I still think, even though Dakota Fanning's going through a little gawky stage right now, a little awkward, I think she's going to be hot in 4 years.
And you would love to see her naked eventually?
She's 14 now.
Is she really 14 already?
Yeah, when she's 18, who's not going to want to see her naked? Why not? She's just a little gangly right now. She's going through that fish. She's not cooked yet.
Well, the body's trying to figure out what it's going to be.
Yeah, it doesn't know
going
yet.
through that figuring out stage.
It doesn't know yet.
Nicole Eggert there.
Nicole Eggert.
So we could free up our phone lines because everyone feels like they need to give the answer on that one, which we appreciate, I guess. What are we doing with this governor in Illinois? What a bad boy.
Sending him to jail.
Is he going to go to jail? They got him on wiretapping. What's the big headline here? He wants to sell Obama's seat?
This guy wanted money to sell Obama's Senate seat.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. He's the governor.
He wanted more than that. He wanted his wife to have a better paying job.
This guy was just trying to get everything. He goes, this is an important thing. I'm not giving it away for free. It's like, no, it's the government. You don't make money off this stuff, you dummy.
He did what we would all want to do.
Well, of
which
course.
is make a few bucks from it. Like, he said if he didn't sell it, he would just take the seat himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really a dumb guy.
Oh, bad boy.
But they got him on 2 other charges, too. They caught him messing with the Tribune. They wrote an editorial he didn't like, and he threatened to hold up the sale of the Cubs, knowing they were in financial trouble. And that window factory that shut down deals with Bank of America. He told Bank of America if they didn't loan money to that window company, which was a failed business, that the state of Illinois was going to stop doing business with them. So he was threatening banks. He was threatening newspapers. So freedom of the press and freedom of enterprise, they got this guy dead to rights.
Yeah, the Tribune he went after, right?
Yeah, the Tribune owns the Cubs. They're in financial trouble.
And he wanted some kind of backroom deal because he wanted some of the editorial writers fired that said bad things about him.
Mob tactics.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, it's Chicago. Come on.
But you know what is really just embarrassing? What was his bail?
$4,500.
$4,500 was his bail.
Because he's the governor.
Because he's the governor.
You know where he is.
You know what,
be
though?
in the mansion.
Who cares? Make a statement.
You're right.
Make a statement with the bail. Don't, he's not a flight risk, so they lower the bail to that extent. That's nothing. What is that, $450 cash?
Yeah.
Is that how it works out?
$4,500 bond?
But he probably appointed the judge.
Yeah, another thing. Yeah, check into that.
And his birthday is today. So, Judge, give me a break.
And how many governors?
In the last 30 years, since the 70s, 3 Illinois governors before him have gone to prison.
Wow.
And several others have been up on charges.
Does anyone watch what the governors do in this country?
And most of them have been bribery charges.
Governors are just bad boys in this country.
They got a lot of power.
Bad boys.
They got a lot of power and a lot of influence, and people lose their minds.
Well, you had a guy protesting outside the governor's house last night. Alone.
Oh, alone.
One guy.
Nothing more sane than the lone protester.
Right.
How long was he governor? Is he like new or has he been?
He's been around for a while.
Like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
He stood in a one-man protest outside Governor Rod Blagojevich's home tonight. Joel Duran says he's an 8th grade teacher publicly questioning the governor about a lack of education funding.
And if he's so bold to do this on such a high-profile opening in our government, Illinois state government, what else is going on within the Illinois state government?
But within minutes, a police officer asked him to move off the corner and across the street. Several officers gathered on that corner, part of the tight security in the area.
That's odd. It's not like it's a group of protesters that usually need a permit or something.
Mm-hmm. One guy.
Be able to stand wherever he wants. I'd stand on his curb and then yell, "Government property, government property. You can't kick me off. Government property."
What a nerd.
I'd evoke the 3rd grade defense of government property.
You were such a nerd in 3rd grade. You actually said that.
I would taunt children. I would stand on the curb and yell, and people would go, get off my property. I mean, no, I'm on the curb. It's government property.
You know what's nerdy about that? That you knew that as a 3rd grader.
It was something every kid knew,
I just didn't know that.
It was one of those things in my neighborhoods, every neighborhood on Long Island, growing up, you knew the government property thing. And then even the kid that you were taunting or something, he even knew, like, he had to throw his arms up and go, government property.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
What am I going to
do? Government property. The guy knows his laws. It's like kid laws.
Did you have a stupid briefcase as a 3rd grader so you could look up all the official documents?
Yes, that's what I did. I walked around, patches on my elbows. Just evoking the government property law.
Yeah, and then
paragraph 1.
We go back to Illinois.
Sector 1.
Unbelievable. Other neighborhood people talk about the governor at the train station.
At the CTA train station a few blocks away, some commuters wanted to give the governor the benefit of the doubt.
I think it's sad because I like him. He's a good governor, but unfortunately things happen.
I really can't say which was the hardest part, but I was shocked.
But for others,
it's time. Yeah. I think he had there was some shystiness going on around there.
Some shystiness.
That was Jesse Jackson, right?
Huh?
That was Jesse Jackson, the first guy.
I don't think so.
No,
just commuters.
Commuters
oh,
at the train station.
It sounded like he was a good governor. That sounded like Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
They say his son might have been the fifth guy. They're speculating his son was one of the guys who might have been possibly mentioned for that seat.
Oh, drag Jesse Jackson into this.
Would love
that would
to
make
see
me
it.
very happy.
Jesse.
Yeah.
They're trying to drag Obama into this, and they have nothing on him.
No,
they don't have him on any wiretaps, nothing. So, but the GOP is very angry that Obama had any connection with this guy.
Yeah, but they're saying Rahm Emanuel may be the guy who tipped everybody off to this, Obama's right-hand man. So they may have wanted him out for some reason.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, everyone has a connection to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, all these government officials do business with each other. You can't, did Obama ever talk to him?
Well, what they do.
Yeah.
Stupid politicians. Hey, we got an update on Alberto. It's calling Gay Day.
Yes.
And we did roll call at the beginning of the show, and
everyone's in.
And we lost one. Alberto called in. He's the board op. So when we go to break, he makes sure all the local commercials are playing and the promos and all that, and then make sure we get back on time, all that crap, right? Well, he called in very, very sick, pretty much with the flu. And then Mike goes, you do realize it's calling Gay Day. He freaked out. He forgot. So Alberto, I swear to God, dragged his ass in here.
Really?
Yes.
He just showed up. Yeah. Oh, God, great.
Is that the truth stuff, Frank?
He came in, and I walked in the other studio, and he is so sick. I sent him home. I said, if you get everyone sick, you're fired.
So he did show up just to prove that he's sick and not gay, and now he's going back home?
I guess if you step through the door and into work, and then you could leave immediately, then you're not gay.
We stamped his card.
Yeah, you stamped his non-gay card, and he was able to go home. You validate for not gay.
Where does he live, Mike? How far? How far from here?
Well, I know he has to take 2 subway trains.
So what a homophobe!
Wow, really?
Well, it's what goes on in America, though. I mean,
Who cares with people? That's funny.
I don't want to think.
So he took 2 subway trains just to come in to show that he really is sick.
Why can't he be more like a guy like Steve from Bayshore, who doesn't care that, he's sexual preference, and we applaud Steve from Bayshore for not showing up.
It's unfortunate because we could really use his instant feedbacks today, but look, I understand he's doing what's right for him, so I do support you, Steve. Whatever you do.
I suspected he was gay. I didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
But it was like, it was the hair. He was like too attentive to his hair, and it was just kind of too quiet and lurking. There was always some kind of like a weird.
We always thought he just liked the era, but now we're finding out some things about him.
He likes blonde hair, blue eyed guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always got like a weird vibe, sexual vibe off him. Like he was kind of looking at me in a weird way. Whatever.
Where's the little pink triangle sewn on his jacket?
It explains his alcoholism, that's for sure.
Well, you try to bury that stuff with booze. It just doesn't work. Just got to accept it. And I guess today is his first step in really accepting it by not showing up.
He's a funny guy. I mean, Steve's a lot of the funniest writers in Hollywood, honestly, are gay. They're very creative. Gay people are hilarious. I mean, that's a lot of reasons they run the show business. And Steve is a brilliant comedy writer, and that's one reason.
There you go. Let's go to Chicago for one. Jeff, your governor is a bad boy.
Yes, he is.
What do you got on
us? You know what? Oh, it's even worse, though, dude. When he was running for that seat, his whole platform was to clean up the corruption in Chicago.
Ah, really?
Oh, wonderful.
Talk about a hypocrite, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? My wife looked up online yesterday because he took over for George Ryan, who is now in prison. And I thought, okay, we got 2 governors. But my wife looked up online. Before Blagojevich came in there, there's been 3 different governors for Illinois that have been arrested for corruption. So, I mean, Chicago's always been known for crime and corruption and the mob, but I didn't know it was that deep.
And it's also, you look at a guy like Spitzer, who I didn't like, but what he was doing is so stupid and unimportant compared to what this guy, this guy is like a guy who should really lose his gig and go to jail. But Spitzer, what was he doing?
We should get a list of all the governors in the last just few years and what they've been up to. It's unbelievable.
We got him.
Hey, Booby Man from Brooklyn, he just heard that Stephen S. from Bayshore will be calling in gay all week because he's really, really
gay.
Ooh, each day for a place that he likes one. Like, well, this day is for the left hand. This day is for the right hand. Wednesday's for the mouth. We got it, Steve.
It culminates with Friday.
No, he can only get up till Thursday if you do the math.
The big A.
2 hands, mouth, A. No, Monday through Thursday. Friday is when he has to put the feet together. Boo.
Boo. After the break, we might have the final version of the Van Halen comeback hit single.
You don't like it?
Even though Van Halen has come and gone, we've been working on their new song for them.
Well, Opie,
or Jimmy has, actually.
It's the new song. They haven't come out with the new material yet. I think what they did first was they toured first.
Yeah.
Because it gets people into the vibe like, wow, they really are back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what's going to happen now is how would they get a second tour out of it? You got to do mathematics. They couldn't just do an album and a tour. That's one and done.
Sure.
So you get the interest of everybody up by doing the tour first. They're going to go see you.
Yeah.
Now you have new material. Boom! New interest in a second tour.
And then you write horrible songs.
I don't think it's horrible.
Like the example that Jimmy gave.
I think "We're Back" is probably what they're. It's gonna be like "We're Back" and an exclamation point after the song.
Well, the faithful listeners.
Do you think parentheses and better than ever? We're back.
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
No,
yeah,
no,
you got it. No.
The parentheses come in the song. It's a crazy world, and in the parentheses, and I'm a little bit crazier. Oh no, but I'm a little bit crazier. It's a crazy world, but I'm a little bit crazier.
Again, the chills that I get just from a title.
That's where the parentheses.
Well, after the break, we added the second verse to the song. Second verse to
I don't know if I like it.
The Van Halen song "We're Back." Pete from Morningside helping us out with this. We'll debut it next. And also, we have a boo-hoo for Oprah Winfrey today. We'll explain in a few minutes. Opie and Anthony. Where are we going? Opie and Anthony. Don't worry, we got control of this. I want to ask Anthony something. Because he's a very knowledgeable man.
I try. I like to think I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things.
And I got to tell you, your hair plug's looking terrific.
I don't have hair plugs.
What?
And I am still wearing my hat because I don't have hair plugs. And I'm still wearing my hat because the back is, I have little spiky hairs in the back.
Are you going to shave your whole head so it's all the same?
No, I'm waiting for the spiky hairs to grow in. Well, I'll get a haircut at some point. I'm
looking forward to the big reveal after the holiday. That's the next time I look at it. I saw it when I first came back, and I got to be honest, it looked very, very good.
It doesn't grow like a weed, but
well, we're going to take a week, a little more than a week off.
It's filling in nicely.
We got a couple more weeks before we take a week off, so I'm talking close to a month before we get to see it. I don't want to see anything.
I like
Put your hat back.
That's good.
Put the hat back down.
That's good.
But you're very knowledgeable. This is what I ask you today, my friend.
Yes, I hope I can help.
And please don't cheat.
All right, no cheating.
Cheating sucks for the show.
I'm actually putting the Pal Talk text thing down below my toolbar, so no one can help me. There.
If Stephen S. from Bayshore was writing in some feedback today, he would write something like, I don't know, hey, Ope, check to make sure Ant's hair plugs didn't call in gay today.
Why would they call in gay?
I don't know.
They couldn't even
see, obviously that means that Stephen S. isn't writing today because that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense. It's not funny.
Right.
It stinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not Steve from Bayshore. Steve is a funny guy.
I'm just proving to the people out there that he really isn't writing today.
Steve, I got to thank him because he did all my window treatments at the house. And really? Just a bang-up job. Yeah. Every single window. Perfect, too. The colors match. I don't know how they do it, those people.
You were suspicious, weren't you?
I was, but he came in, all the window treatments.
Yeah.
I say curtains.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, they're window treatments.
And you were like, well, I know the guy's down on his luck and doesn't make much money.
Yeah.
I know he's doing whatever he can, but something doesn't seem right here.
And then he had a friend help him.
Really?
Yeah, it was a friend. They came in one car, but I don't question it,
No, what's weird about the friend? I've never seen this friend at F.H. Riley's when Stephen S. is drinking his sorrows away.
Yeah. Well.
And this is what I ask you today. Please don't cheat.
Okay.
What happened 50 years ago today?
50 years ago today.
And don't even fake it. If you do know because you read this ahead of time, then tell me.
I would say, let's see.
I know you're trying to do the math. 1958, my friend.
1958.
Yes.
50 years ago today.
Yes.
Sergeant Pepper taught his band to play.
Oh, my God, that's the
They were
60s.
going in and out of style.
What's wrong
Guaranteed
with you?
to make you smile. No.
Hold on, 1958. What did it say? December 10th?
Mm-hmm.
1958.
50 years ago today.
I'm going to guess the first things in space, whether it was monkeys or
Like a
Sputnik.
Sputnik?
The first thing, nope.
Wasn't Sputnik.
I'll tell you this much. The people that did this were very, very brave.
Oh.
Very brave.
Wow.
People are guessing, Kevin from Connecticut.
First blacks to go into a white school. Segregation.
No.
Damn it.
Before that, I think.
Kevin from Connecticut writes, 50 years ago today, Anthony graduated high school.
Oh, that isn't true at all.
That old gag. These people were, in my opinion, very, very brave, and I think you'll agree
Very,
with me.
very brave.
50 years ago today. The first time this was done.
Can you say where it happened?
No,
is
in
it
the U.S.
Is it the first, no, that was earlier than that.
What?
I was thinking something with commercial flight.
That's why I said what, because I could read you. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
First passenger jet flight in U.S. 50 years ago today.
Wow.
That, like I said, those are some brave people.
Was it one of the comets?
Huh?
Was it a comet?
What do you mean a comet?
The plane.
I don't know.
Was it called the Comet?
Was that the name of the first airline?
No.
I would guess like
the
Pan
plane
Am or
itself.
something.
No, he means
I
the
think it was
style
like
of plane.
I don't know.
Was United a big? What was the one that
Eastern Airlines, maybe?
Eastern.
There was Pan Am.
Yeah, Pan Am was around.
There was another weird old one.
And then there was one that Howard Hughes was in charge of for a while.
Anthony, I got the airline.
Oh, yes.
What a coincidence, because it was called Ted's Airline.
Oh, wow.
Ted's Airline was the first airline 50 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And they had the first flight.
Was it Trans World Airlines?
I don't know. We'll look it up.
It's probably TWA. Or...
You should have called it Had Nothing's Airlines, because that's what I did.
I should have looked at you first and see if you had anything going on, a spark of creativity. Just a blank stare back at me. Thanks, Jimmy.
I didn't have
What the have?
I had nothing.
You know, it's your bit.
I didn't have anything. I started it with a car and a ramp. It didn't go well. That's all Ted had.
Very short flight.
All right. Not everything has to be a winner with Ted.
Yeah.
Mr. Brain, yes.
Brain.
Anthony is amazing. It was National Airlines inaugurating service here in America in 58, but in 1952, the de Havilland Comet was a British Airlines flight. And so the Brits did it before we did, but it was a comet.
Yes, why did the Brits get to do it before we did? We do everything first.
Before us.
The F is that about?
I don't know.
Because their lives are valueless, so they took a bunch of dumb Brits.
Believe me, it worked out better for us than the Brits, because that comet had a little problem with the pressurized cabin and blew apart a few of them.
Oh, really?
In midair.
Did it really?
And people plummeted to their death. Yes. Oh, it was a horrible, horrible thing. They couldn't figure out, like, the shape of the pressure container and metal stress. So stress fatigue. You know what they had? Almost square. That's why windows are round on planes. They had squared windows, and the corners of anything made of metal are going to have a lot of stress on them. So the stress cracks through the corners of the windows actually cause the sides to just blow out of the plane, and they would come down in pieces with people and metal and everything else.
I didn't realize that. Like, I knew that they were having. There was one that was having problems.
It looked great. The plane looked really cool.
We got to get a picture.
Too big.
There it is.
Oh, wow. That does look cool.
It's a cool, like, old classic-looking passenger plane, like an old Boeing. Yeah, a few problems. Oops. The de Havilland Comet is a wonderful aircraft. It's safe as you're plummeting into the ocean.
Yuck. All right, we'll get that picture up on ondaradio.com. Where are you at with Oprah? This stupid billionaire,
but I don't think she likes me.
This stupid billionaire wants us to feel sorry. Wants us to feel sorry for her today. She's a billionaire. I just plow right along. I keep just plowing the snow. Oprah has gained a lot of weight, and she wants us to feel sorry for her, I guess, because she put her fat ass on her on the cover of her magazine.
Did she?
Yeah, she's now at 200 pounds, and in 2005 she was at Stump Brain, 160 pounds. So they have the current picture of her on the O magazine, right next to the old picture of her weighing 160 pounds.
What the hell is with her?
And she's going for a boo-hoo-hoo, I guess.
There's, what problems does she have?
A lot. I mean, Oprah, in 2005, she was 160 pounds. 1994, she got down to 140 pounds.
Is it having to deal with Greenstein? Is that her problem? Is that what making her eat? Jesus Christ. We'll all be blimps.
Take that one. She's blaming part of the weight gain on a thyroid condition, Anthony.
What?
That has slowed down her metabolism.
She eating cow thyroid after she finishes the rest of it?
The economy's falling apart, and we have to feel sorry for a billionaire. Does this make sense to anybody?
It's like, quit eating, fatso.
Exactly.
That's it.
Stop.
Look, I want to eat the crappy food. Last night I was shaking because Dr. Steve sent that amazing gift that Jimmy opened up yesterday with all the blue boxes. There's so much goodness in those boxes. It starts with a big box and goes all the way to a tiny, tiny little box, and every box has a treat in it.
Dr. Steve, I curse thee.
Yes, and I'm sitting there at home. I'm shaking because I want to, destroy this stuff, but I don't.
I ate those stupid little chocolate-filled little... Those were unbelievable, and then followed it up with some chocolate-covered graham crackers.
They're lovely.
And this was after eating dinner.
Yeah.
Like right after.
Yeah.
I finished dinner fast because I knew those were sitting there.
Oh, you had them shipped to your houses?
Yes.
Yes.
I get mine shipped to XM because the beauty is this. I'll have a couple of each. I tried a few. I probably had like 5 pieces, 6 pieces, and then just give it to the staff. This way I treated myself,
Good
and I'm
boy.
done. I won't pick at it at home.
Yeah.
I have nothing at home but apples.
I'm bringing mine in tomorrow.
He said, ew.
Stupid apples.
Yeah, well, so we can't feel sorry for the billionaire. We all want to eat like pigs, Oprah.
Yes.
She partly blames her inflated flab on a thyroid condition that has slowed her metabolism. We said that.
Oh, stop it. There's medication for that.
And ready for this? And given her a fear of working out. She has a fear of working out.
Fear of working out. What is that about?
It's called being lazy.
Yeah.
We all have it.
Yeah, isn't that... Yeah, that's just called being like, oh, God, I really got to get to the gym.
Right. She also concedes that her willpower has taken a backseat to a busy schedule because she was running around the country supporting Obama and all that crap. Right. I felt like a fat cow. I wanted to disappear, writes Winfrey, whose body mass index of 31.8 is considered obese by the Centers of Disease Control.
Yeah.
How about this? You can't control yourself. That's all it is.
Yeah,
you have no willpower.
And your timing sucks. People are losing jobs all over the effing country, and you want some sympathy. Yep. Go away.
Sitting there shoving bonbons in your face.
Go away.
Yeah.
Where's the fatty? We'll get a fatty picture of her up there.
Get the latest cover. It's everywhere.
The latest fatty picture of her.
She is huge.
But you know what, though? Her listeners, her people, all think like she does. They're a bunch of, back and forth with their weight cows. So a lot of them will look at this, and they love her even more because she's imperfect and she gets fat like they do.
She's like me. She's like me. I understand.
They do. They love that.
You know what, though? I'm going to go with Jimmy's point, and it's something I think Stumpbrain and I were talking about. I think Anthony jumped in on the conversation in the office. I'm suspicious, we're suspicious, that she might have gained the weight on purpose, so now she can introduce another product that our fat housewives out there will start buying and gobbling up.
And remember that doctor?
Maybe some kind of food plan or
who
something.
did all the walk-in with her and put out all those best-selling books.
Yeah,
and he's got like 100 acres next to hers in Hawaii. She's going to make another $1 billion off this.
I'll tell you what.
And I'm not going to lie. Our old boss went over to work for Oprah Winfrey. And I'm hoping that it has something to do with Elo.
With Elo?
Elo is making her eat.
Hopefully he fell off the wagon. He comes into work drunk. She's got to eat to just deal with him. Oh, would that be fantastic?
I gotta admit, and I know he still listens to the show. I'm secretly hoping it has something to do with you, Elo.
Oh. No, Oprah, you look great.
Yeah.
could you just run out and get me some, like, McDonald's or something? You got it,
Within 2 weeks, Oprah realized, oh, my God, this guy knows nothing.
Yeah.
In her office.
Dude, she looked good in 94. There's a picture of her in 94. She almost looked like Angela Bassett, where she had, like, her arms looked like a little flabby.
Like Bassett Hound. Big jowl dummy.
That's right, Oprah. You're not untouchable. Get on a treadmill. Stop with the fear thing.
I don't think she would. I think it's in the middle. I don't think she would do it on purpose. But I think that she just will eat and get to a point where she's disgusted, knowing that when she needs to lose the weight, she can, because she has enough money for personal chefs and trainers.
She's a billionaire. She's sneaking into a closet somewhere and eating because she has every meal cooked for her. She does have, like you said, the personal trainers when she needs them.
And a chef who can make good, sweet-tasting food that's healthy.
Yeah. There's regular slobs out there. They don't get all that. And they're struggling with their weight. She has no excuse. Ugh.
Ooh.
What happened?
A picture of her right there.
Yeah, there's some just brutal pictures of Oprah if you Google
like it should
image
be on
her.
the cover of another magazine.
Her awful.
Well, yeah.
Figured out yourself.
But her audience will love the fact that she got fat again because they relate to her struggle. They relate to the fact that even with all of her money, she still balloons up and gets fat. And she says the same crap they do. I have a thyroid kid. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, it's the thyroid.
But you know what? No one knows who the real Oprah is. She could be just doing this because she feels like she needs a little, a little pump.
But Gail knows.
A little pump up in in her, her popularity. What?
I thought you meant there were clone Oprahs. Like no one knows who the real one is.
Well,
the
that's
skinny one. She drags out of fat. Don't look at me like that, Jimmy, please. Wow. God damn, am I a B-17 this morning?
Kind of like it. Kind of like all of them.
It was a, what do you got on Oprah, or how far you got with Oprah? Well, no, I'm trying. Oh, before I forget, Bob Kelly. I wanted to spit on him last night. I saw him he walked into the Comedy Cellar wearing it. He looks good. He lost so much weight.
Yeah, bastard.
That's what happens, by the way, Oprah. When you work out and you just don't eat carbs. Like Bobby's been very disciplined. He looks really good.
He has.
Yeah, you got to be disciplined.
He's wearing a slim down jacket, and he walked in with like a puffy ascot scarf on.
No,
wrapped around and tucked into the front of his. Dude,
an ascot.
I thought it was a joke. I've never wanted someone to help me tease someone so bad.
Yeah,
I've never wanted Patrice or Keith Robinson as badly as I did last night.
To be there, yeah.
Bobby walked in wearing this ascot, and I just started ripping on him. I'm like, what is that? And he goes, it's called style.
Oh, is it, Bobby?
It's called style.
He so is calling in gay today.
He's a fool. But that reminded me because I said he looked like a pilot in the early 1900s.
An old adventurer pilot.
Your B-17
Scott.
Yeah, Snoopy.
That's wonderful.
Bob is a yutz.
His name should be Scott. Right. Not a gem, but geez, I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull back on the stick and miss this mountain. Wow. I should have called in gay. I'm saving my good stuff till later. I'm doing rope-a-dope right now.
Yeah, you don't want to fire out a good one in a bombing run, because what happens is it like if there's something happens with it, it hits the door on the way out.
Yeah, it'll just get lost in the mess I've just left behind me.
Has anyone made the Enola Gay joke yet? Because I was
did
reading some
B-17.
feedback. Well, but didn't officially say Enola Gay.
B-29.
All right. Hey, Barrett.
Yeah, great. I could tell you what plane it was. Wonderful. Jeez, I'm just a bevy of humor.
Yeah, that's all right. You figure out the plane type. We're just going to suffer with the wreckage you're leaving behind.
I just want to simplify for everybody. Barrett from Pittsburgh.
My jokes are hitting San Diego.
Wow, very good. Oprah, afraid of working out, not afraid of donuts. Exactly.
Yes.
Why don't we get into the Jimmy Van Halen, We're Back song? You want to explain this, Jimmy? Because I think we do this on the other side mostly.
Well, Van Halen did a tour, as we all know. A pretty successful one. They didn't know if David Lee Roth...
Was it successful?
I think so, yeah. They sold out.
They made some bucks.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It was David Lee Roth and obviously Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yes, but who's the Michael Anthony?
Michael Anthony
is closer to Sammy Hagar or whatever, and wouldn't do it. So they got Wolfgang, Eddie's son, to play bass, and they didn't do any new material. They did a very successful tour
of all their classics that people wanted to hear.
Classics, and what happened was we started to speculate that they were going to put together some new material. And I've never thought Van Halen was that great, to be honest. I know I'm going to get killed for that. I never thought they were that good. I recognize Eddie's a great guitarist. Some of their songs I like. By and large, I thought, I didn't like them.
Right.
So I started to think that the new stuff they would put out would be as lyrically irritating as their old stuff. And one would be We're Back! Because David Lee Roth always had that kind of wink and be silly thing.
Yeah, that's the whole gist of this thing is, it's just the way Van Halen was, especially when you watch the old videos. You watch the old videos of Van Halen, where there's such phony camaraderie between all of them, and the way the video was, and David Lee Roth doing his karate moves, and Eddie with the smile, and they'd look at each other, and this abomination of a song that Jimmy put together is absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah,
it does. It's something they would do, and that's what is so embarrassing. Just thinking about it,
because we do like the thing of We're Back, and we can picture them like Eddie playing and leaning back, and then David Lee Roth back to back, like them looking at each other over the shoulders, and like We're Back, and then saying it together. And then Eddie walks away. And strums a little bit, and then David, what's the word? He peacocks when he walks. Preening.
Yeah.
He'll walk away.
So,
but lyrically, they always stunk, I thought.
Jimmy came up with a second verse, and we got this guy, Pete from Morningside, doing all the guitar work for you to make it into a real song. So now we debut the latest version of the Van Halen comeback song. This is how Jimmy thinks it would go.
Yes. I don't know how happy I am with this. I would really like it to be perfect.
All right, we'll keep working on it, but this is what we got to this point.
We've been away for a long time. We've been through changes, we've played some games. The more things change, the more things stay the same. We're a little bit older, but we ain't much wiser. We're back. We're better than ever. We're back. We're back. Together forever. We're back. Ran with the devil. We used to jump. Got hot for teacher. I brought my pencil. And then we danced the night away. Wait, that didn't rhyme. We're back. We're better than ever. We're back. We're back. Together forever. We're back. We're back.
Oh, wait, you're interrupting them. It's only in the chorus. Now it's done. I don't think there's any more actual lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I can picture, like, while this is happening, all the crazy things they'll be showing in the video. Like, one would be, like, a little bit of a fast motion movement of Eddie trying to wake Dave up in the hotel.
Oh, no,
and he's shaking, and he pulls the cover away, but it's Dave's feet. And then he realizes, like, in the eye couple, Dave's facing the wrong way on the bed.
Why are you doing this to me?
But like that'd be the kind of thing. We're back. Like they're trying to get the tour bus ready. And there's a bunch of they open up the dressing room and like all these girls come out.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. Really?
They're giving me, and they're not good goosebumps. They're not like, wow, this is great goosebumps. It is the douche chill goosebump.
Well, they wouldn't show it realistically. They wouldn't show Dave walking out of a CBS radio with like a footprint on his ass, and Eddie trying to sing and then having half that tongue chopped off. That'd be slightly depressing.
Man.
We're better than ever. We're back. We're back. Together forever. We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
What do you want to add to it, Jimmy? Is it almost good?
Yeah, I have to do a little.
All right,
bit
do a
more.
little thinking.
I like the old retrospective in the middle, about where they put in some of their old songs, like trying to be lyrical, like just what they've done.
Yeah.
I want to add a match to it.
Doesn't it need some kind of gimmick?
Yeah, well,
like
we're
a
a little-
big gong or a chainsaw or some dumb thing that some of these bands like to do.
I want them to take out that we're a little bit older, but not much wiser, because that's actually a song. That's actually going to be a song. We're a
That's
little
the B-side.
We're a little bit older, and then in parentheses, but we ain't much wiser. Just like the other one is parentheses too.
Yeah. All right. Hey, to get the bad taste out of everyone's mouth here, there's only one thing that we're able to do here. All right? And it's to do this.
Oh, God, no.
I was feeling pretty good for la 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 la. Taking my time on the la 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 la. Snow falling down in the la 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 la. Everybody singing like la 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 la. Decking all the halls with the la 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 la. Making my way to the la 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 la.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah. My favorite part coming up.
I like to drink a little beer.
Hey.
At the end of the day.
Not cool.
Go walking in the town. Feel like a million miles away. Not a snow is like a sea. Like a sand above the beach. The lights twinkling in the trees. The people shining in the street. And the people in the light. All the children in the light. Singing holy, holy night.
Sucks.
I was feeling pretty good.
Well, yeah.
La 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 la. Taking my time on the la 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 la. Snow falling down in the la 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 la. Everybody singing like la 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 la. Decking all the halls with the la 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 la. Making my way to the la 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 la. I like to sit out on the pier and look across the bay. I don't think about a thing.
Pier.
I feel a million miles away.
Otis Redding.
Like I'm floating from the sky.
Wind up like him.
Like a storm of falling snow. Then I'm spinning through the trees. Then I'm shining in the road. All the people in the light. And all the children in the light. Singing holy, holy night.
Nice.
No.
I think I'm turning some people around with Sleeves' Christmas song.
I don't think you are.
That's Sleeves, everyone. Yes. You like it now, Jimmy?
No, I could have. I could have liked it. Like I didn't mind the fa la 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 la. The fa, I understood was a Christmas thing, but the and then we're doing this and the la la. It was supposed to be meaningful, but to me it fell woefully short.
Oh, it certainly did.
It could have been interesting if there was a different hook in there.
It was a different song
Yes.
by a different singer. It could have been interesting.
Well, he's contemplative. He sits on the pier and he looks across the bay.
Well,
Why?
Well, exactly. How about the Hudson River? Why don't you sit there and look at Jersey?
He's taking a break from his life that is obviously, hell on earth.
Well, what's so hellish about it? He likes to drink a
There's
beer.
a lot of weird stuff going on in the world, and he's just reflecting and going, you know what? I'm taking a little time for myself. I'm gonna have a little beer.
Yeah, how about he goes to?
I'm not gonna worry about bills and if I'm gonna be fired. And you know what? I'm gonna get into the little Christmas spirit, even though it's all about just shopping.
How about he gets a second job or goes back to school instead of drinking and wasting his time on a pier?
Yeah,
he's just looking across the bay. He's just simplifying everything for a little while.
Good for him. I hope he's sitting on the
before
pier
he gets back in the rat race
and he gets attacked like Will Smith and I Am Legend. Bunch of dead bodies. Fa la 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 la
la la la.
Oh, in the la 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 la.
In the la 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 la.
Yeah, in the la 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the bay like Spalding Gray did.
Oh my God.
It's calling you, isn't it? Oh, Spalding.
Yeah. Spalding.
Well, once again, Half the people love it, half the people hate it.
Wash up like a fiddler crab.
Jesus.
Did he ever wash up?
Yeah, they found him. They found him. He jumped off a ferry here in New York for the people that...
How could you kill yourself? I would just land in the water and swim.
Yeah.
There goes the ferry.
Yeah, something about killing yourself. You don't do that swim part.
Yeah, but as soon as you hit the water, I think you realize it was a dumb idea and you start swimming for sure. I bet you that's what happened, but he didn't make it.
Yeah?
Maybe he couldn't swim.
Yeah, I bet you that's what happened. It can't be still a good idea when you hit the water. That's what I'm thinking.
There was water in his lungs, Sam.
He was a monologist. He was spreading joy, and he drank the whole lake, Sam. There was nothing left. He was floating with slacks on. My houseboat was sitting there in mud because all the water soaked into his fat little pants.
His lungs were like a ShamWow.
Like that girl's ass. I thought she had one. I was like, what a sham. Wow.
Joe Jim C music.
Yeah. We do have to take a break, Jim C.
Okay, we got to do more Quincy as time goes on. Just analyzing the awful dialogue in that show.
Oh, yeah. And I want to call the. I want to play the complaint call we got earlier today again for the people just tuning in. You're not gonna believe this one. Some dummy doesn't know what's going on in the world.
Ow.
We'll explain next. Opie and Anthony. Morning. Opie and Anthony. We got a complaint call. We're going to play that in a few minutes here. And are we trying to get her on the... Yeah? Okay. We're trying. Breaking news. CC Sabathia. I always mess up his name. He is officially a Yankee. They got him.
140 million.
I was just watching, I think, Len Berman. Yeah, I'll keep it local for everybody today. And he was hinting that this thing might just fall apart. He was saying, look, because he hasn't signed with the Yankees, this was yesterday.
Yeah.
Len Berman feels like that he wanted to pitch for anyone but the Yankees. Well, I guess Mr. Berman is wrong today because the Yankees got him. It's official. Who gives a crap?
And
the Mets got K-Rod. That's all I care about.
K-Rod.
K-Rod! Yanks got A-Rod. The Mets got K-Rod.
K-Rod.
He had, 60 saves last year? Something like that?
Wow.
He's ridiculous.
That's hence the K.
Yes. Sabathia, though, I mean, I know. He was the big get this free agency season.
So sick of free agency.
Are you?
Yeah, man. I'm so sick of the Yankees doing... I like the team that was built from the farm system. That team was the dynasty.
No one has patience to do that
Cashman
anymore.
Stinks.
No one has patience to do that. I'm with you, actually, Jimmy.
Yeah, they want instant gratification.
That's right.
Because it's not working. They haven't won since 2000.
Yeah.
So all these big picks, they have not won. Alex Rodriguez is a bum. He's like Roma in a way that he's not a big game winner.
No.
And he never will be.
Chokes.
You know who is? Jeter, who I don't like, but he's a big game player.
Yeah.
Rivera.
Yep.
Big game players.
What about Sabathia?
I don't know enough about him. I don't care about him.
He's a monster.
Big deal. How many of them would... Randy Johnson was a monster at one point in his career, and then he comes to the Yankees and he stinks.
Yeah.
So was Kevin Brown. Kenny Rogers.
They always get him at the end of their career.
Hey, Anthony, I'm going back to you.
Yes?
For a little more knowledge. Ready? Economically, it's a mess out there, right?
Certainly is.
With that said, how many people have attempted to rob banks in New York City in this year that's about to end?
Attempted bank robberies in a year?
Mm-hmm.
I will say...
For New York City.
Let me think.
What does that mean? All the boroughs, I would assume? Okay.
I'll say anywhere between 3,000 and 3,200.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm way off.
Yeah,
I say
way off. And I see the number in the paper today, and I'm thinking even this number seems high.
Attempted to rob banks in New York City this year.
Yeah.
30.
390.
Oh, I figured there were more than just one a day.
Really?
Yeah, bank robberies. People love walking into banks and saying, "Give me your money." Stick 'em up. I think they say, "Stick 'em up."
I was amazed to read 390. I thought that was. I couldn't believe it.
It's like one a day. It's New York.
Well, last year, just to show you that, because when economic times get rough, this type of stuff goes way up. Last year, 283. So over 100 more bank robbery attempts this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny that over 3,000, dude, that's all that would be happening. Where do we live in, though?
It would be exhausting for the cops.
But sometimes that's just the way it is.
But 20 bank robberies a day, don't you think that would be like a big story?
Attempted bank robberies. That could be like anything. The guy goes in and
Wouldn't be 20
gets
a day.
caught. No, what would it be? 10 a day? I figured 10
It'd be a little
day
less
or
than
something
10 a
like
day.
that. Yeah. It's New York City. I just figured people walk in and say, "Hey, give me your money."
Yeah. Really?
Wow.
I thought that 390. I thought they had that bank robbery thing figured out for the most part. And when you do see one of these guys, you're like, what are you doing?
You can't get away with it.
Right. It's very
Yeah.
hard to get away with that.
Those cameras, boy, they nail you.
I saw a good one in the South where they were doing it. There was guys that were getting away with bank robbery a lot. And they started to suspect that they were cops because they knew too much. And the one guy they got, it's funny, I thought of you because they got him because he had that special stance where when he was pointing the gun, he would, like Kenny said, teacup it and hold it, like one hand cupped in the other.
Saucer.
Which is actually two different styles of police gun holding put into one. And these guys, he had like this checkered jacket on. They zoomed in and forensically looked at the pattern on the pocket. And then they got it from his house. And they just had like a forensic expert look up that company of jacket maker.
Isn't it amazing how they do that?
Oh, you finished? There was like a little cut, like a little rip in the jacket that they saw in the video. The guy was smart. He hung the jacket in a closet alone, so it wouldn't touch any fibers on anything else.
Oh, wow.
He understood that it had to be hung alone, so it was touching nothing else. But it was like, you're going to have to buy a new jacket and throw it out every time you rub.
Yeah.
But you can't get away with it.
Yeah, I don't understand why people keep anything that they had when they committed a crime. Anything. Just get rid of it in a very creative, destructive manner.
Of course. Got to do a little more prepping. I think we're breaking the CC Sabathia story because people are like, I don't see this on ESPN. We got a nice
Really?
AP story out of Vegas, of all places. So, there you go. It'll hit the wire. We're on top of things on the Opie and Anthony show. And then probably one of the strange stories today, and then we're going to move on to that complaint call. Bans. This is the headline. Bans. Stop musical torture. This is a weird one. Guantanamo Bay, they try to get the prisoners to suffer a little bit, and they crank up the rock and roll.
Yep.
We've all heard this over the years, right?
Yeah, they don't like that rock and roll music down there.
Military detainees aren't the only ones complaining. Musicians are banding together.
Liberal.
Is this amazing?
No, it's not. It's not surprising either.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Jimmy. I've learned that from you. Musicians are banding together to demand the U.S. military stop using their songs as weapons.
You faggots.
Oh.
Are you effing kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
What left wing?
Yeah,
let's see. Rage Against the Machine, of course.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell, Ant.
Is it Rage?
Of
That's
course
one of them.
it is.
Yeah,
of course it is. They're angry at the machine.
Yes, they have a rage against it.
I don't know what other.
The tactics have been common in the U.S. war on terror, with forces systematically using loud music on hundreds of detainees in Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo Bay, to create fear, disorient, and prolong capture shock. Basically, it forces these the prisoners to stay awake for a very long time. A campaign launched today has brought together groups including Massive Attack and musicians such as Tom Morello, who played with Rage Against the Machine, and Audioslave. It will feature minutes of silence during concerts and festivals.
Oh, great.
I officially hate Rage Against the Machine.
They sucked it.
Yeah.
I don't hate Audioslave because I know Chris, Cornell is just
very talented.
one of the greatest singers of all time.
I don't think he gives a crap about their political stance.
No, I don't think he ever did. There was a separation I saw in his eyes when we had the whole band in. He was like, he was getting his paycheck. But I'm done with Rage Against the Machine. Done.
These are the people, some of them maybe not, but a lot of these are people. They got Sheikh Khalid Muhammad. They are confessing to 9/11.
Yeah.
He plotted it. They got him.
Yeah.
What do you think? They just sat him down and politely asked him if he did it? They were
Did you do
waterboarding
it?
him.
Did you do it? No, there's interrogation tactics that people use. So it's is it considered torture? I'm sure in some places it might be, but as far as torture goes, wow, it's probably very mild.
Of course.
There's rules that they have to adhere to.
Compared to what they do to our boys.
We're not beheading them.
Let me read this, because it just gets sickening. It will feature, these guys are going to feature minutes of silence during concerts and festivals.
Which would be my favorite part of the whole dumb, overrated show.
And thanks. Thanks a lot, the people that come to and pay to see you. Just going to sit there and not play anything for a while?
Yeah, this is Chloe Davis, I guess, of the British law group Reprieve, which represents Guantanamo Bay detainees and is organizing the campaign.
Of course she is.
For many Afghan detainees where music was prohibited under Taliban rule, interrogation by U.S. forces marked their first exposure to the rhythms played at top volume. Binyam Mohammed, now a prisoner at Guantanamo Bay, said men held with him at the CIA's dark prison in Afghanistan screamed and smashed their heads against the wall.
That's
nice.
Good.
Smashed their heads against the walls.
They should have done the same thing when the Taliban was collecting all their weapons.
Now that's what I call headbanging. You want to guess some of the songs they've used over the years?
We're not going to take it, Twisted Sister?
They did, let me see, is that on the list? No. They got Nine Inch Nails' March of the Pigs. Queen, We Will Rock You.
Really?
Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Oh, that must annoy him, yeah.
Barney, I Love You.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
They played the Barney I Love You song?
Over and over and over again at full volume. You got your Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Good. They said that scared them. That was actually a scary one.
Really?
Yeah.
Drowning Pool Bodies, which is just a great song. AC/DC Shoot to Thrill and Hell's Bells. AC/DC very popular over there.
They did pull one song, though, because it was too much. Foundry.
Rob on Long Island, that's right. Yesterday I loved Rage, and today, they could go F themselves. Enough.
That's how it happens.
That's right. David Gray, Babylon. I don't know.
I think Rage
that's
sucks.
like a chick song, I guess, right? Eminem, White America. Sesame Street theme song.
God, that would really drive you crazy.
And then some of the other go-to bands, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Aguilera, Don McLean. What, American Pie over and over again?
American Pie, I'm sure.
Oh, that would just be
Well,
torture.
right when you hear that start, you just know you got 10 minutes of this crap.
Right.
Oof.
When is this song going to end? And stop being so inside where we have to try to figure out every lyric.
I hear
Seriously,
Obama
crap.
wants to close that down.
Yeah.
Guantanamo, bring the prisoners here, and I guess, try them in court. And God. Give them the rights that are given to American citizens, which they don't have. They're prisoners of war. You interrogate them. That's what you do.
One thing about it that I don't like is, what have they gotten out of it? How many of those guys, just holding guys, have we gotten a lot of guys? I don't know enough about them.
I don't know. You know something?
I
don't want to know. I'm not down there.
I don't want innocent
care.
people held. That's my only concern. Is innocent people are being held. That stinks.
High in the Sierra Mountains.
Fast Freddy from Jamaica Station. They have a better playlist than K-Rock.
Wow.
Insulted Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, New Hampshire. How are you, buddy?
You know what they should be playing for everyone? Sleeves. La, 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 la.
Ah.
La, 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 la. La, la, la.
I'd rather just have Jimmy's We're Back.
Oh, God, yeah.
Awesome.
Over and over again.
All right,
Imagine they played that and there was mass suicides. How great that would be. I'd feel like $1 million.
We got to play a little catch-up. It was also 3 years ago today. We got to acknowledge that Richard Pryor died 3 years ago today at the age of 65.
Yes.
A young man.
What?
Lost a great one. 65 is nothing these days.
Well,
For a comedian, it's nothing.
But for him, I guess it was like being 180.
Young man.
That was probably 40 years past where he should have lived.
Right.
What he was doing. Not a coke he was doing.
Unbelievable. And Otis Redding also died 41 years ago today in that
did.
plane crash. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we got the complaint call from a really... she's not a listener of our show. She's just a dummy in general.
No, she has no clue about what was happening, that the gays put this together.
Yep.
We were just talking about it.
Yep.
Having some fun with it and everything, but Jesus, what a dummy.
We'll explain next. Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Moving right along. People are trying to figure out how to make money out there. And in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I don't read the Wall Street Journal whatsoever.
I don't think so.
It's a paper for nerds. But Stunt Brain brought it to my attention. Hence, in the Wall Street.
Yes.
Overtime. That's right, OVA.
OVA?
That's right, Anthony. OVA. Overtime. Women line up to donate eggs for money. Really? It's a great way to make a few bucks.
I hear that's painful.
It's quiz day. It's Anthony Quiz Day. I got another one for you. So far, you're doing pretty well, by the way.
Good.
What is the going rate for a surrogate
egg?
Period. Sorry. Yeah.
For an egg, $5,000.
The answer is 25,000, my friend.
Wow. For one egg?
Egg donors generally receive 3,000 to 8,000, but a few agencies advertise that they'll pay much more for specific characteristics.
Oh, okay.
You have to have the good egg.
Yeah, we know what that means.
One ad running in campus newspapers promises $25,000 for a donor who is
white.
What nationality? Well, I guess I always get confused by that nationality thing. With
what? Race?
Oh, it's actually 100% Jewish. I always get confused nationality
Jewish
and
eggs
religion
are,
with that one.
The most?
Yeah, 100% Jewish with high SAT scores. Attractive, at healthy body weight, and free of genetic diseases. If you got all those, there's an agency that will give you about $25,000 for one of your eggs.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing, huh? It's a good way to get the bills paid.
Not necessarily mean the kid's going to be, that. There's been some nice blue blood children, born of privilege, good family, and they turn out like crap anyway.
The one that always makes me laugh is when you get two ugly ducklings.
Yeah.
I mean, they both look like beasts. And they have a beautiful kid. What's that about? And it's not adopted; it's their kid.
Some genes from way back decided to come up front.
Man.
Yeah, I knew girls that were very, very attractive, and then you go over their house and meet their parents, and
yikes.
The mother's like just a fat Jabba the Hutt piece of crap sitting in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Father looks like a lurch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
people that knew me back in the day know exactly who I'm talking about, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Just had a bevy of beautiful daughters.
I think we all used that back in the day too much.
Well, back in the day, I never used it. Because it was just the day.
Very good.
Yeah.
Jimmy's got a sick story, and I'm deep. That's why we're a little off right this second, because I don't know why you watch these videos, Jimmy.
I don't understand how anybody can be against the death penalty, theoretically.
Listen to this story. I was not aware of this one.
It's starting to pick up, I guess, a lot of news coverage.
You hear about this story? Funny stuff. Terrible.
Go, Jay.
No, I can't say the word. It's Dnepropetrovsk. That's a city in the Ukraine.
Oh.
Dnepropetrovsk.
Just bomb it.
Whatever it is, maniacs courtroom video. There was 3 teenagers in the Ukraine, and they were videotaping themselves going around murdering people, torturing and murdering people, and they killed, I think it was 21 people in about a month. And it's the videos, what they would do is take cell phone videos, and it said it shows the maniacs going to their murder victims' funerals and taking pictures. And they would also, secretly give the finger to the gravestone and take pictures of it, of people they had tortured and murdered.
Wow.
And
they're a little antisocial.
But it's amazing the complete disconnection from any humanity. It was like I watched, the only video that's around is the two of them. I think one had started the killing and then just like, he did a couple and stopped. They're killing this guy in the woods with, it looks like a hammer and an ice pick. And I saw it once, and I was watching it last night.
How do you watch that?
And I had to get out of bed. I started to feel like I was going to faint. Like, I've never felt that way watching that video.
Wow.
It was, and I've only had this feeling one other time in my life, where it was, you get this weird, you have a queasy feeling, and you're like, I'm going to throw up.
And you pulled down a pair of panties and found something else?
No, when I didn't find something else.
Oh, okay.
Disappointed.
Because I always forget.
Yeah, it said fully functional. And I stood up, and I'm like, let me just walk for a second. And my whole body started to tingle. And I'm like, I'm going to faint. I'm going to pass out.
Wow.
I had to get a water and sit down on the sofa because I started to, like, go. I could feel myself starting to get ready to pass out.
Just from watching a video of this.
I think I hadn't eaten all day either. Like, it was just, it's such a visceral...
Can I jump in for 1 second? So you get that feeling and you go and get the water. So why would you now sit back down and continue watching the video?
I
you didn't?
I couldn't. I mean, I had already seen it one other time before. And I don't know why you watch, like...
I can't do it to myself.
To connect... I don't know why. It's not a thrill. It's not like, I don't know why I watch stuff like that.
That's like in the movies when they try to dramatize or portray somebody being killed, and then there's somebody standing in the background watching, and they turn around and just hurl, that's, you can't watch that without a physical reaction to the disgust that you're seeing.
And these three scumbags were from families of wealth.
Yeah,
there were three rich kids who admitted that they were doing it for the thrill. It was a hobby. They wanted to have cool memories when they got older.
Jesus.
That's what they're saying?
Yeah, and that's why they did it. And they started on cats, and they said that they would offer rides to people. But the guy being killed, he's just laying in the woods, and he's wearing like a suit jacket, and he's not really moving. They'd obviously beaten him, and then his face is bloody. But it's so awful. Like they're jabbing him with an ice pick in his it's terrible. It's just a terrible thing. But now that they're starting to become world news now, I saw this a couple days ago for the first time, and now you Google it, and it's coming up more and more.
Death penalty.
But not even the death penalty. It's, it's almost like as crazy as Islam is sometimes.
I would love to just see what the death penalty people say about this one. What does it take for you to agree that we need a death penalty?
Aren't they a little more strict in the Ukraine about things like that?
I'm just saying as a human being, because there's people in America where it's different. They would still fight that these guys don't deserve the death penalty. I don't understand that one.
Here in this country, obviously.
But to those people, what does it take for you to understand that some of these people don't deserve to walk this earth?
These are guys, like I saw that one video where they had a pit that had fire in it, and they lit these guys, they put these gas on these guys, they just pushed them backwards on their knees into a pit. That's the only way to handle guys like this.
Absolutely.
It's the most, I literally almost fainted watching a video. I can't believe I got that reaction.
And Matt in Queensbury felt the same way watching beheadings. I've never...
I can't watch
Nope. I completely understand what's going on. I don't need to see the videos. That's just something I just can't deal with.
But with the internet, it's amazing. Like it's something I never would have sought out, but it's there, and like you watch it, and it's like I don't know. I wish I knew why I did it. I really don't get a thrill out of it. I don't think I don't know.
Those Ukrainians are crazy, though. It should just be we the jury find the defendant guilty. We the jury find this defendant guilty. It's just get rid of them.
Then a little this.
That's what they do, and then on their way.
On. Jimmy, I got to ask you. So you start your surfing. Do they still use the word surfing?
Sure.
And you ended up there.
I like to call it cruising on the information superhighway. That's futuristic.
Where did you start? And it's obvious where you ended because I don't think you see videos after that. I don't think you keep your surfing going.
Well, I go to the one.
But you went online to do what to begin with?
I was online.
Pay some bills maybe, and then
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, where did you start, and then you ended up here?
Checking emails and stuff. I think I was checking emails.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I was doing, and then just I've been in a weird funk for a little while, so I was just kind of keeping busy. And I go to this one site where I look at these gore videos. And I wish I didn't know the name of the site. That's why I won't give the name out. And this new one was updated. And the guy put it's the most graphic, gruesome video. The beheadings are bad.
But Jimmy, I don't like. All right, there's gore video websites. It doesn't mean you have to go there and watch this stuff.
I know
they're out there. I know.
I don't know why you feel compelled to watch.
I don't either.
I know where I could go, and I just don't want to or need to.
But other people do watch this, and I don't know.
You're not alone. Look at the phones; they're lit. 1 million people have seen these videos. I just choose not to. Why? What is it that makes you go there?
The same thing that makes people slow down at a car accident. It's almost like someone told me, because I asked why do they do that, and then someone told me one time it was an instinct in you to want to see what happened to the other creature, like the other person, to avoid it, or like it's kind of something you don't think through rationally, like an animal looking at another animal who's wounded. I don't know exactly. I wish I knew. Maybe a psychologist knows.
Does your hand start shaking on the mouse at least? Like, oh God, I think I'm going to do this again. I think I'm going to click on this video.
No, it's just they're there.
Wow.
They're horrible, and I find myself so empathetic. Like it didn't make me harsher. It actually made me a lot more empathetic towards other people, because you picture yourself in that horrible, horrible place, the hopelessness those people feel, and it's like it's just. I felt tremendous empathy for those people.
Horrible. Yeah, of course. Wow.
I'm sorry to wreck the show. Have other people seen it? I mean, I know
actually
the phones are lit.
Chris from PA, I want to hear how the video ends. Maybe the guy stands up and goes, ta-da.
Yeah. Do we get a ta-da at the end of this video, Chris?
Hey, boys. Yeah, I watched the video through, and at the end, when you think the guy's dead, he's laying there with an ice pick in his eye. He actually reaches up to pull it out. Like, he's just laying there motionless, and then he reaches up at the last minute to pull this thing out. It was horrific. I felt the same way that Jimmy did, but I couldn't stop watching it.
What do you mean? The guy, almost dead guy, reaches up and pulls the ice pick out of his own eyeball?
He can't reach it.
Well, he makes an attempt.
Oh, he makes a little attempt.
He was almost paralyzed, like with he couldn't move. The hard part for me to watch it was that they had bludgeoned him with something, and there was a breathing. He couldn't breathe. He was like, it was this fighting for breath, and these monsters. They show one of these kids in the video like looking and laughing, and
it's the way they laugh.
And then afterwards,
Manny, Sal.
They run out to the car, and they like pour this solution or whatever, this water on the hammer.
Yeah.
It's just
wow.
It's awful.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
No problem, later.
Hey, just some real, like, people you just pretty much can't relate to out there. You know, it's completely unrelatable.
I just want to, like, change gears. Like, I'm really mad about this Oprah personal struggle thing. Now GMA's got Gayle King to discuss Oprah's personal struggle.
Look.
Why are they trying to make us feel sorry for a billionaire? The timing is horrendous for this. Everyone's losing their jobs. We don't give a crap Oprah's gaining weight.
But why do they have a washing machine and a stove behind them on the set? What's that about?
It's probably two of the things Oprah ate.
A couple of things they took out of her mansion because they knew she was going to eat those next.
This isn't.
But does anyone else understand the timing? Oprah puts her big fat ass on the cover of her magazine to tell everyone that she can't control her weight. People are losing their jobs.
I'm a fat pig. That's news.
No,
you're a billionaire.
That's why.
Then quit your stupid TV show and take care of yourself.
She's got a gym at home.
She's afraid of it or something.
Yeah, we learned that she's afraid to work out.
How about that, huh?
She's got personal trainers. She's got personal chefs. She's got everything that you could ask for. No one wants to hear about your dumb struggle. And why does GMA like humor this story and have Gayle King on to discuss it further? I don't get it.
Her friend, her good friend.
Right.
Aren't they just friends?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, no, they're just friends. There might be other friends, though.
Yeah.
Or another friend.
Another friend?
There might just be. And everyone needs
just
friends,
stick
right?
to that. No calories. It's a good workout. Makes your neck hurt in the morning, but
she's out of touch. These dumb housewives will just, gobble up whatever that Oprah, feeds them.
Yeah.
So we'll buy the magazine
Oprah.
to read about Oprah's struggles, the billionaire's struggles.
I struggle.
Yeah, people are wondering how they're going to pay their bills for December, Oprah. How about you discuss that in your magazine?
She can't relate.
Another me person. All right. We're going to clear the field.
Ofra.
We're gonna take a very quick break. Then we're going to do the complaint call. It's calling gay today.
Yeah.
And some listener thinks that we invented this. And just went off on us.
She's very offended by it.
Yeah, and we're going to play it right after the break, just in case you missed it. We started the show off with this. And and we also got some great brand new taser videos.
Ooh.
And, of course, we'll play the audio for you. And I think the videos will be up on ondaradio.com. Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. We're trying to figure out if Pam Anderson is still hot.
Nope.
No, not really.
I say nope.
Is that her now?
Yeah.
Worn out whore.
We're looking at pictures of her. She's aight. She's aight. Anthony, another quiz.
Damn.
Los Angeles critics choose what movie as best movie of the year?
Oh, God. I haven't even been out to see any of these crap movies.
It wasn't a good year for movies. I mean, I know Batman
and critics
came out.
Knows best movie.
What'd they choose? I have no idea.
Damn.
Wall-E.
Really?
A movie I haven't seen yet. I hear it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of the animations.
I like those computer animation movies.
I'm a big fan of those. Huh?
I'll tell you, I never liked him, but one thing, I was watching Charlotte's Web, and I had to turn it off because I was crying.
Oh, which one? The original?
No, the new one.
Oh.
Little pig talking.
Yeah. Charlotte dies in that one.
I know, that's why I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, but then the little spiders go, bye, goodbye. They all, like, fly away. The baby spiders.
Thanks for spoiling it.
And ruin the ending and everything like that.
My favorite movie of the year was Iron Man. Have you seen Iron Man yet?
I was watching Iron Man last night. Haven't seen it. First time I was watching it. And unfortunately, I did fall asleep.
Really?
But it was not for lack of excitement and adventure in that movie.
Did you like it?
I was just exhausted, tired. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
That friggin' when they first show him in that the new suit.
Oh yeah.
After the one he made.
The old suit was kind of cool though.
Very cool.
You didn't think it could get cooler, is what you're saying.
But then the new one he got on. Oh man, that was pretty cool.
It blows Batman away. I know everyone talks about Heath Ledger, and the guy was brilliant in that movie as the Joker, but as far as the movie goes, Iron Man blows the Batman movie away.
When he took out the first
my
camp,
opinion. Yeah,
he was using the people as human shields.
Oh yeah,
all those people using the soldiers using the civilians as human shields, and he just targets them all in the head and just frop.
So where did you leave off with the movie?
I don't know. You ever fall asleep during the movie and you're kind of not really sure? With movies I've seen, I know exactly.
Yeah.
Like if Alien is on and I'm falling asleep, I'll know exactly when I fell asleep. Exactly.
Well,
but this one, I wasn't quite sure.
I got to tell you, Iron Man wins in the end, Ant.
I'll watch it. Oh, does he?
Of course he does. Am I giving anything away?
I know.
They want the big sequel.
I thought Robert Downey there was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thought it was he was good in it, and
he's good in everything he effing does.
He's just so
he's just
screwed up.
Not as much though, they say, right? He's got his life figured out.
Yeah, supposedly. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
You want to continue? You want to continue with your quiz?
I didn't know it was Anthony Quiz Day, but of course.
Jimmy, you want in on the quiz?
I love quizzes, Opie.
Right.
It's legendary how much I love quizzes.
All right. And you got to raise your hand if you know the answer ahead of time. I don't want cheaters today.
All right.
I know you have your Pal Talk pals that help you out at every turn, but not today.
No,
not today.
I'm not looking for that.
All right. Don't look at instant feedback. Nothing.
Yes, you can. You can come.
11-year-old Jiffy, a border collie dog, can crawl but is too heavy to walk, and the extra 50 pounds he's carrying nearly cost him his life.
Do I have to ask the question?
What is it he's carrying?
No, like, what? Why did it, nearly cost him his life?
Because he's fat? It's a fat dog?
Mm-hmm. Well, how did the fat get in the way?
Of the dog?
This is a high-level question, by the way.
Rolled over on his back and couldn't turn over?
I don't even get this, though. I'm not getting enough information.
You got a dog, 50 pounds overweight, nearly cost him his life. Not every question is going to be an easy one.
Heart disease.
That's your answer, heart disease?
I have no clue. Can't go to the bathroom.
Fat dog was trying to cross the street and a glacier almost hit him.
I love exaggerated humor. Did I ever tell you?
Sure.
I'm a big fan of the exaggerated humor. But that's not possible, Jimmy.
Wow. Boy.
This is going to be a hard one. I understand.
Collie.
Yeah.
And it was fat. And it could have cost him his life. Oh, he couldn't get his head up to the bowl to eat? No.
They cost him his life. Locks of his hair are still frozen on the sidewalk in front of his house, where he got stuck for more than 12 hours.
You stupid fat dog.
His belly's rubbing up along the sidewalk, and his belly froze to the sidewalk.
Froze to the
because he was too
sidewalk.
fat.
Fat dumb dog.
House, where he got stuck for more than 12 hours.
It is very disturbing to see a dog that overweight and then to actually come up and see the dog frozen to the sidewalk was very, very traumatic for me. I've never seen a dog actually frozen to a sidewalk before.
No one has.
Animal care providers had to use warm water.
No one's ever seen that anywhere in the world.
No.
It's never happened.
Ever.
Well, last time I saw a fat dog stuck to the sidewalk, I felt just as bad.
Yeah.
She acts like it was something we were all talking about at one point. I've never seen the skydiving dogs, and apparently here they are.
Animal care providers had to use warm water to gently pry the dog free, and Jiffy's owner, a 59-year-old woman, was taken into custody on suspicion of animal neglect.
Of course, you dunce.
Yeah. Thomas Overbeck from Dallas writes, did the dog break his knee and ask someone to hold his paw? Man.
You see the dog laying out there?
Yes, I did. You know, I tried to help her with it on Friday night, but I got bit by it, so I left it alone. She had other people come and help, and everybody did make an effort.
Was hungry, all frozen there to the sidewalk.
Other people come and help, and everybody did make an effort. You know, it's not that it was total neglect on her fault, you know.
The owner tells police she did make frequent trips outside to check on the dog, but folks here at the Sheboygan County Humane Society suggest the dog was abused long before he was frozen.
But you can overfeed a dog, and when you do, that's what happens. The dog becomes extremely overweight. It cannot move properly. It puts a strain on all of their organs. It's just not healthy. It's abuse. That's plain and simple.
Yes, and apparently it just wrote an article in its magazine about how much trouble it's having with the weight. I feel the same about those two.
Exactly. That's a fun little human interest story, right?
That's one of these, thank God that woman, well, I don't know if she has children. I doubt it, but it's one of those women that would just do that to her kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's a Munchausen syndrome by proxy or whatever it is.
I'm tasting peanut butter.
What?
Yeah.
After a dog story?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, well, you should have waited before I said this. I'm tasting peanut butter, and I haven't eaten peanut butter in the last couple of days.
You having a stroke?
I smell oranges.
Yeah, smell burning hair.
Wow. It's tasty peanut butter, too.
Have a taste.
Come on here. Here you go. I just cleaned out my food pocket for you, Jimmy. All right.
Oh, God.
What?
Food pocket.
Yeah.
Didn't you fix that yet?
Yeah, have that
I'm
filled.
going back to the dentist. I'm having it filled because I've had
Have some cement
Doesn't
put
it
in
stink? Does it stink?
there. I don't know.
It can't not.
Food
It's
pocket.
full of food. It's a pocket.
They had to tell me I had a food pocket.
Isn't it just
issue.
a hole in your gum?
I
Tooth?
don't know. It's a pocket where food goes.
gets in there?
Gets stuck, and it's hard to keep clean.
Why don't you eat cement? And then it'll get in there and harden, and problem solved.
Yeah. So it's calling gay day.
Yes.
And we had a dummy. We started promoting this or talking about this or whatever yesterday. And After the show, this lady calls in to Stunt Brain's voicemail and left this message.
Hi, Mike. My name is Marcy. I'm a listener of your station. Occasionally, I catch the Andy and Opie show in the morning, but rarely because I'm at work.
We get it, barely. You don't want to be associated with this program.
The Andy and Opie show.
Yeah.
She's really familiar with this program.
Wonderful. But she'll try to ruin the show for everybody else.
Andy.
There's a lot of these people out there.
Because I'm at work. I just happened to hear an advertisement on your station for the Andy and Opie show, which I think is something that's going to be occurring tomorrow. It's something called Call In Gay Day. I have to tell you, I find this so incredibly offensive, sexist, and against every human right imaginable.
Thank you. That's what we were trying.
I just want to express my deep disappointment in your programming, allowing these two people to promote this on the air, and it continues the hatred and the disaster that this entire world is in.
That's what.
The entire world is in a disaster right now?
Because of the
really?
Andy and Opie show.
I see Christmas lights. How disastrous could it be?
Beautiful.
I'm doing the la 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 la.
God.
Where's the disaster?
I hate that song.
I called in gay, got a mouthful of la 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 la. Sat down and got a la 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 la. La 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 la.
I would appreciate a call back. I will be writing a letter.
Yeah,
to the director of your company, to the director of
Can
programs.
we give out the address so everyone can write their dumb letters?
Which one? Get one that isn't fired or going to be fired. They won't care about your letter.
To the director of your company, to the director of programming. I'm not quite sure what your title is. But thank you for your listening to this message, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you in person, because I just can't let this rest. I'm not gay, but I really don't have any gay friends. But I know when I hear something offensive, and this is deeply, deeply offensive to every human being. Thank you.
Thank you.
How is
it? Do you honestly?
Even if we made up calling gay, it would not be deeply offensive to every human being.
How is it offensive?
You dummy.
How?
The thing is, it's like this woman's not the problem. She's a great window into the way the country thinks, which is a knee-jerk reaction to something that they're not informed about, thinking for other people, and thinking that I'm supposed to feel a certain way about something because of that knee-jerk reaction. Like, it's got to be offensive, and it's sexist. It's like, first of all, it doesn't mention gender. So sexism implies, I believe, gender, not sexual.
Right.
It's like all of these incorrect things. It's just, it's silly.
And we're trying to get her on the phone, but what? You know what's funny? She gave her work number, and she's not answering her work number.
Why would she?
Well, maybe she starts at 9, but I mean, a lot of people start at 8, right? So we're trying to get her on the air.
She thinks it's offensive. And do you think any idiot...
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Travis?
But Travis ran in.
on the phone.
Oh, good. What line?
She's on line 4.
Cool.
She can't hear right now.
Okay.
But I'm going to put her on.
Okay.
Go right to
and
her.
she's willing to talk to you.
All right, cool.
She still has no idea.
All right, good.
Okay.
Let's not do something where we just say hi and hang up.
All right.
I really want to hear
Put her on hold.
But
her logic.
I think you should talk nicely to her, and then
Yes,
let her
of
get it
course.
all off her chest, and then reveal that you were just reporting what gay people wanted to do today.
Make her sound
and then
like-
see how she reacts.
Let's make believe it's our bit still.
Well, let's. I want to hear her side, and then
All right, let's go.
And then the big reveal.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Who's this?
This is Marcy Freeman.
Hi, Marcy. How are you?
We
Good, how are you?
We heard you were a little angry at something you heard on the Andy and Opie show.
No, not on your show. It was on it was I guess a promotion for something that was going to be on your show.
Ah.
Well, that would be
So
on
they-
our show.
They must have taken
Yeah.
a clip and then put it on. So later on, when you were listening to music, you heard this clip from our program,
right?
Which is actually, if I may, the Opie and Anthony show.
I know. I realized that after when I was doing some research on the internet. I said, "Oh no, I got the name wrong."
You got the research done.
All right.
Yes.
So
that shows really. I don't really listen to your program, but I heard the little blurb, and I was really
now. I have to ask you, because I wasn't quite understanding you. What were you so upset about with what you heard?
It was Call-In Gay Day, I believe.
Right.
And it was I wasn't sure if this was supposed to happen today or whenever.
Today.
Okay. But from what I heard, it was if someone should happen to call in today and not report for work, the following day, excuse me, people would laugh at them at the water cooler because they would be gay. That was my interpretation of what I heard.
If somebody, let's say somebody, do you know what this is based on? Do you know why we were even discussing this?
No.
All right. You were all ready to fire off a letter to our boss, without even knowing where this came from. I want to enlighten you a little bit. Do you know that today is Call-In Gay Day, and it isn't a radio bit? Do you understand that the gay community came up with this to show that they have some type of purchasing power, and to show that they're useful members of society that run businesses, and that if they take the day off, that people will notice, and it shows that they have some power in this country. It was thought up by the gay community. This isn't some bit that we came up with. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
All right, so you didn't know that. Hold on. Let me just keep continuing with my questions on it. So you didn't know that. You heard a blurb from our show, a promotional clip that's played during the rest of the day to get people to try to listen to our show in the morning. And based on that alone, you threatened to write a letter to our bosses so we would be reprimanded with less than 1%, I would say, of the facts of what was actually happening. Do you think that is a sound and logical?
Well, I think that when a station runs an advertisement for something, it's usually, includes all the information. Like, say they were advertising, dishwashing liquid or something like that. I can only go by what I heard, and that's what I heard.
You heard it. It was taken out of context because obviously for a promo for the program, we can't spell it out for everybody. It's supposed to be a quick thing that grabs your attention. But to base a letter that could possibly get a show in trouble, maybe sponsors would be upset, the bosses, on something that you are obviously ill-informed on. You don't know the whole story here.
Yeah, but why would you have to worry if everybody knows what the true story is except me?
I'm not worried. Believe me, I'm not worried. Our bosses are worried about flying out the door with pink slips. Your letter would do nothing. It would end up in the garbage in 2 seconds because the guys with the ties that would read it maybe 2 years ago and give it some credence, they're flying out the door in record numbers getting fired because the economy stinks on ice.
I know.
And you're listening to a blurb from our show and ready to fire off a letter. It's beyond me that you are going to be the voice of the people that listen to radio and try to get us reprimanded for something that you didn't even understand.
Well, number one, I'm not the voice of people who listen to radio.
Well,
I'm
you
just
certainly sounded like it by saying, you were putting your voice to everyone else, saying this offends everybody. You did say that this is offensive to everybody. How do you know?
I would have to see my letter to see exactly what I said.
Well, you did say it's offensive to everybody. What gives you the right to say that you speak for everybody? A lot of people aren't, even if we meant it with malice, which we didn't. We were reporting on what was happening in the gay community. But even if we meant it with malice, with humor behind it, you don't understand it. You still don't have the right to speak for everybody.
You're very good. You should be a lawyer.
Can I ask her one question?
right.
Just curiosity.
Sure.
Anthony has very eloquently explained what it was, what was happening. And what I'm hearing from you is things like, well, the promo should have been more informative, and, hey, I don't speak for anybody. It's like, why not just say, wow, I was wrong? Like, why is there no personal responsibility? Like, you know what? I overreacted. I should have done a little more research. I should have been informed before I complained. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't, instead of thinking of all these other things, you just come out and admit, like, hey, I was ill-informed, and I guess when I complain to a company, I should be informed of the facts.
Well, do I have a second to answer some of these things? Okay. Number one, it was a promo, period. Number two, if I knew these, and I'm going to have to refer to them as alleged facts because I've been in touch with some gay organizations, and I would like to know if this is a true thing because in the years that I worked in as a social worker, I've never heard of this.
Well, let me tell you something then. You know something? Let me tell you something. You're uninformed. You're not very informed, especially in your line of work, if you say that. It's right here. Gays, Nups backers skip work today. The first ever Day Without Gay aims to show the nation relies on homosexuals and raise awareness of the drive to legalize gay and lesbian unions. And this is from a little rag that no one reads called the New York Daily News. It's been on all the news stations. You're a social worker, and you're that uninformed with what's going on in this country.
Can I just finish my thought?
Go ahead.
More stupidity.
Okay. Regardless of that information, the way the blurb came through was if you call in gay on this day, people will laugh at you because they'll think you're gay.
No, the thing is, if you call in gay, let's say you're legitimately sick and everyone in the office knows it's call in gay day and you're one of these man's men and then you call in sick because you are sick. And then you come in the next day and everybody starts going, hey, that's a brave thing you did yesterday, not showing up, and showing your support. I never knew you were gay, but that's cool. That is how we placed it in a humorous manner, because don't you think that would be kind of funny that some guy doesn't know it's Call-In Gay Day? He's really sick. He goes in. This is called comedy, Marcy. It's called humor. It's called like some kind of weird position the guy was put in. Do you understand that it's not offensive, that it's humor based on some type of miscommunication that was going on? Do you understand that?
And gays could handle some humor, by the way, too.
If the guy is put in a weird position, then isn't there a question mark there?
No, it's an imaginary guy that we made up for a bit for some kind of discussion that would be an ironic, weird twist of a situation that the guy's actually sick, he's not gay, but the fact that it's Call-In Gay Day, everyone thinks he's gay. Or the guy that is sick that drags himself into work because he's sick, because he doesn't want people to think he's gay.
We had one of those.
Is
Alberto
that
did that.
Terrible.
Why is that terrible?
It's called funny.
Not think people should not think you're gay.
But you know something? But there are people that do.
So terrified of being thought of as gay that you drag yourself into work.
You
That's
don't
the
think,
humor of the whole thing.
But Marcy, you don't think there are people out there that think like that?
Of course there are.
Yes.
All right.
So what's the? We're
having fun with those.
That's
type of
where the
people.
humor comes from. Do you think that's gay? Do you think
I
us?
don't think it's funny, but that's okay.
Of course not.
No, it's not okay because you wrote a letter. You should just realize this show isn't for you and just move on.
Right. If it's not
But
funny,
I wasn't listening to the show. I was listening.
Did you or did you not
music.
send off your letter?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Did you or did you not send off your letter?
Yes.
Why? Do you realize people enjoy this show, and if it's not for you, so it's not for you? There's other people
But
that
it's
really
not
enjoy
the
what we
show.
do.
It's not the show.
Of course it's the show.
it is the show. If it's a promo for the show.
Blurb about the
Exactly, but do you honestly think our boss is going to read that letter and then get upset with the guy that placed the blurb of the show or the people that did the show? Do you? First of all, like I said, this has nothing to do with us getting in trouble. Your letter, I swear to you, will end up in the garbage because people are worried just about keeping their jobs in this day and age. A few months back, you might have gotten some mileage from this, but I'll be honest with you, your letter's going to get nothing. And it's just a stupid letter. It's a stupid attempt at trying to get somebody in trouble and being so uninformed and then firing off a letter. You are so much more irresponsible than a show that is trying to be funny, cutting edge, comedy, dark comedy, whatever you want to call it. But you, Missy, are probably being a lot more irresponsible than you believe we were by saying what we did, by firing off an uninformed, unresearched letter.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your opinion.
Well, no, well,
It's not an opinion.
It's not an opinion. Before you hang up, we would really appreciate an apology because you really, got under our skin today.
Yes.
Well, let's put it this way.
We would appreciate an apology.
I think it's due
Marcy,
because you were.
We would appreciate an apology, and
don't think I have to apologize.
Why don't you think an apology? Why do you think an apology isn't in line when you said yourself you didn't research this? It was taken completely out of context. Yet you wrote a letter. You don't think
that was taken out of context.
You should.
This is something that your radio program put on the air.
Marcy.
They are responsible for what goes on the air.
You should apologize.
You understand what I'm saying?
Marcy,
and that's completely legitimate. It falls within every single guideline that we have to adhere to. Do you understand that? Even out of context, it falls within every single guideline we have to adhere to. And you didn't even get it. You didn't even get the point of it. You didn't get the humor in it. You didn't even understand that the gays came up with this day.
I used to enjoy the Howard Stern show, and I listened to it every day when
And then what
he was
happened?
on.
Then what happened?
Well, then he went to the other station. So
And then what happened?
And then I stopped listening.
Why? Why?
Because there really wasn't. Because I thought Howard was funny.
Was funny, but then you decided he wasn't anymore?
No, he went to the pay station.
And you didn't feel he was funny enough
want to pay.
You didn't feel he was
for
funny enough to
radio.
pay for.
No, I don't want to pay for radio. I really don't listen to it. I enjoy music rather than.
You weren't offended. You weren't offended and firing off letters by things he said.
Not at all. He was a funny guy.
About gays or anything like that. You didn't find anything offensive. You didn't find that he was demeaning to women. With some of the things he did.
You're just a dope.
By getting a naked
You really
woman
are
to
dope.
stand there and throw baloney at her,
No.
you didn't find that offensive.
Not at all.
Why? Why?
Because I thought he was funny, and I thought he was an idiot. But
Well, yeah, but you don't know anything about us, but you're quick to
I
write
know,
the
but
old
you
letter
know
and
what?
send it out in the mail, you dope.
You sound like
clump.
two really intelligent guys. You don't sound like Howard Stern.
You're wrong again.
Can I ask how many? Marcy, can I ask how many gay organizations did you contact?
I think it was the Long Island gay youth community, and then there was the
Out of Cherry Grove.
Well, whatever it was, I'm listening to you now, and this is what I'm getting from you. It is this unreasonable. And I'm actually glad that you're saying what you're saying. And despite being presented with what you're being presented with, you are still holding on to the fact that you were correct to spend the energy you did and spend the time you did and to do what you did. You're a great example of what's happening in the country. Everybody knee-jerk reacts and then just refuses to take personal responsibility for being off the mark. The idea of admitting, hey, wow, I overreacted, I was completely wrong, is sociopathically unconnected to you right now.
Yeah,
and I don't comprehend that.
You're unable to accept responsibility that you were wrong in this instance.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I screwed up, because I've said a lot of things. I bat about 500 like every other person in the country. And instead of just realizing you thought you heard something, you heard it wrong because you were ill-informed, and you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. You keep trying to find reasons why you're right.
So, Marcy, you should really apologize to us.
No, I'm not trying to find reasons that I'm right.
Well, but you
Okay,
are.
I'm just trying to explain something.
Well, you explained your point. You explained your point. Could you please just
being heard?
I think the program deserves an apology.
Yeah,
from
I
you,
really do.
For basing what you did on zero fact.
There's obviously
Well, you know what? I'll call you up and I'll apologize
No.
when I find out whether or not this whole gay thing is true, because I have no facts except for your word for it.
Fair enough. Do you have a computer by you, Marcy?
Yes, I do.
Well, how about this? Let's be fair. She wants to check the facts. Understandable. It's the first time she's doing this with the fact checking, so let's be happy she's making the effort.
Google day without a gay. Google that.
Google day without a gay.
Day without a gay. Go ahead. We'll wait. It's okay.
Obviously, you know how to type, you jerk.
All right.
Okay.
Now, what's coming up? You got dial-up?
No, I'm typing with one hand.
Believe me, I live like that.
I'm holding the phone with the other.
Very good, Jimmy.
Okay, day without a gay.
Okay. You could actually go to daywithoutagay.org.
.org.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Click on that. And this, by the way, will confirm that this is a genuine day that was put together by gay people to show that they have buying power. They have power in the retail community, and will show an impact if they decide not to go out and go to work today.
And Marcy, can I gently correct you on one thing? You were saying that, well, the blurb that came on the radio was what you heard, what you said, so that's all I'm responsible for. When you're making a complaint and you're calling people, you're now passing on facts. You are responsible for a little more than that. If you're going to try to make an action happen and take action and make effort, you're responsible to know what you're talking about.
Absolutely, Jimmy.
The show is not responsible to spoon feed all information. You're responsible, if you're going to react and take offense to it, to know what you're talking about.
To do the research, right. Especially when it comes to a promo for a show. You know, it's a very limited time that the programming during the day has to get the point across that there's a morning show, here's what they do, and if you're upset by that, do a little more research.
Yeah.
Now, what are you seeing on your computer there, Missy?
Well, my name is Marcy, not Missy.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
No,
I don't know who I'm speaking to.
No, it's Missy. It's Missy. It's Missy. I'll have to do some research to make sure it's
we
Marcy.
don't know for sure.
I don't know. You're telling me, but what do I know? What does it say?
Well, there's various information here about calling a gay day. I don't know exactly what you want me to tell you.
It is.
All right, so where's
it
our
is-
apology?
It is
There
a
it is.
legitimate gay-initiated day, right?
Apparently.
Not apparently.
It is.
It is. Can you just, for a second, accept the goddamn responsibility and say it is, for that day, a gay organization that put this together? God damn it.
Their logo looks a lot like the Howard Stern logo, by the way.
It certainly does. Wow. My goodness.
You see how unreasonable you're being? Do you see how it's almost childlike, the way you're holding on to the idea with the soft language? Well, apparently. No, there's no apparently. It is.
Get it off your shoulders. Take responsibility. Take a breath.
That's right. Give us a little apology. We'll all
Marcy.
feel better about ourselves.
Marcy, just,
a little apology.
Apologize for your rash decision making, and then we'll move on with our lives.
Right.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
First?
Sure.
Do you feel like you won't be able to move on unless I apologize?
Yes, because you know something, it's all we have to grasp onto at this point. You've done the damage that you've done already. The letter's in the mail. Yeah, you know, it's gonna go to the boss. We may have to explain this. I don't know. But you put us in that position for something you did not research.
And why wouldn't you want to apologize?
So the only thing we have is the fact that you now have looked up something. You find that you weren't correct on it. You may be getting us chastised, and the only thing we have to latch onto is an apology from this Marcy woman.
Right.
Okay. Well, all I can tell you is that
you can't do it, can you?
Yes, I can. I'm thinking about how I want to word this.
You're a lawyer.
The issue for me was not what you want to put on your show or what your humor is, because as anybody says, either you want to listen to it or you don't want to listen to it. The only issue was how it was presented in the blurb.
Doesn't matter.
That?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter how it was presented in the
It doesn't matter
blurb.
because you're uninformed. You're attempting to get us in a lot of trouble with our bosses.
Do the research.
Just give us an apology.
If you hear a news
I can be
tease,
as informed about anything as I want to, but if I represent it in such a way as it may cause offense, because if it was presented in a whole different way, I could care less. I mean, I have more things in my life to do than you could even imagine.
All right. And can I jump in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Marcy, hi, it's Opie. One of our gay listeners is very, very upset, and they want you to do a little more research. You still got the Google up?
Yeah.
Let me see what he wrote here. Could you put meat? You got it? M-E-A-T.
Meat?
M-E-A-T, yes.
Okay.
It's another site that is explained.
www.meatspin.com.
Yeah, Ant's got it too. Spin.
That's the one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is this all one word?
Yeah, one word.
www.meatspin.com. This is showing how the media spins things.
Yeah.
And they get right to the bottom of the issue.
This will inform you a little more.
All right.
Notice that I'm willing to listen to you.
Uh-huh.
I want you to remember this, but
okay.
You're not willing to say you're sorry, though, to admit you're wrong.
A problem.
What's the problem?
Understanding exactly what the issue was.
Oh, did you go to that website? It explains it further.
All right, now you just have to spell it for me one more time.
Okay, and there's no
on Meatspin.
Yes.
No, there's no www.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just no www. Okay.
All right, let's take that out.
Just it's MEATSPIN, all one word.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. There you go.
Okay.
This
There
will
it
explain it further.
Because the media.
Trick your friends into coming. Come see what your mother warned you about. Is that the website?
Huh?
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How dumb is she?
How'd you spell that?
Did you
MEATSPIN.com.
Right, and what do you see?
One word, right?
It says, okay, meatspin.com. You spin me right around, baby, right around. Then underneath it says Meatspin of America. Come see what your mother warned you about. Trick your friends into coming. Forums. Meatspin redirecting to the new forum.
Maybe you don't have a flash player.
I'm not looking at Flash. I'm looking right at Google.
Not at Google.
Hey,
Click on
silly
it.
goose. Hey, silly goose. We're talking about just put it in the browser, not Google.
Yeah.
Because it's the site itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sites called Meatspin or have something.
all right. Well,
no, just
click on the first one.
Up top, just go to Meat.
The first one.
Yeah.
The first
yeah.
one, yes.
The first one. Go ahead.
Just click on that.
Because that
That'll
really
explain
explains everything.
Okay. You just have to give me a minute.
Okay.
It's not coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
for her timeout. Meatspin is taking too long to respond. It must be overloaded.
Yeah, it must be.
Must be. Thanks,
and
listeners.
apparently there's a problem with saying that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know something? After all is said and done here, I really do think...
you're a dummy.
Just an apology, and we're done with this, okay? Can you just do that, Marcy?
And what is it you want me to apologize for exactly?
No,
just apologize for the fact that you made a very uninformed, rash move that could potentially damage somebody's livelihood. That's the apology.
Whose livelihood?
Our livelihood.
She is just the worst.
She knows.
Do you
I don't think I. Do you think I have that much power?
Haven't you watched the news? Apparently, you haven't watched the news. People have a lot of power when they just write a letter that is uninformed like that.
Wow.
Sometimes the bosses really take it to heart, and I do believe because you did make an uninformed decision to write this letter, that we do deserve an apology from you, and then we can move on, Marcy. That's all.
If you were not promoting anti-gay bias, then I apologize.
Not accepted!
Go screw!
Yeah, Marcy.
Let it be known, we were heading toward a brilliant bit, and two things happened.
Yeah, two things went on there.
The dumb listeners had to go check it out for themselves.
Yeah, you listeners are a bunch of dummies.
Which slowed down the internet for that fine website.
Yeah.
And then we got the company here, dumping out of the website address.
Because they didn't want us saying it on the air. Why? As much. Oh, who knows? What's going to happen? Shut up.
We were this close to brilliance, and we got messed up on a couple levels there.
They heard it on Sirius XM.
Oh, boy, did they.
That thing just spinning around on her... I'm cursing now. That thing just spinning around on her computer like a propeller would have just been gold. Would have been golden.
Yeah, but too much traffic. Thanks. Listeners blowing up our show. We appreciate that.
What an idiot. And let me just explain to the listeners out there. That is
comedy.
That picture from that website. We're watching it now. It's just hysterical. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's comedy at its best.
That shows you what we have to deal with a lot doing this kind of radio.
Yeah.
People that are just talking out their crack. They have no idea what the show is about, what a segment was about, what the real news is, what we're goofing on, and then they fire off inflammatory letters to our bosses. Ugh, go screw.
I broke a knuckle, too. I punched the microphone really hard. Because people like that just frustrate the hell out of me.
They're frustrating, but it's like it's actually good to listen to them because you're seeing
themselves.
But the inability...
Yeah.
The stubbornness, the desperate need to be heard stubbornness of I'm wrong, I shouldn't have done that is impossible for people. And that's why that's why I must get fired. That's why so many shows get yanked off the air. It is because of the public. That's the mentality of the public.
They're uninformed. And a lot of these people, if there's one person like her that hears something out of context or whatever, fires off a letter, just think if she belonged or knew an organization, that then she would tell these people the wrong thing, and they send form letters to the bosses. So now the bosses and the FCC and everyone else are getting a bunch of letters from people that never heard it and just heard this woman's side of it, which is completely wrong. That's what happens to people in radio, and that's why they get fired.
Absolutely.
Morons like Marcy.
And the fact that the bosses are even dumber because the bosses accept the form letters. The bosses know better. They know better, and they accept the form letters. So they're truly dummies.
Thank God we're at a point where they just have to worry about getting tossed out the goddamn door, that they're not putting any credence into these
And it's
stupid
important
letters.
to say that Marcy is big time the minority.
Oh.
But unfortunately, they have a lot of power at times.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Should we do it? All right, we're going to do a quick break and wrap up because the phones are lit. So quick break, and then we'll wrap up the Opie and Anthony show. Stay there for a few more minutes. All right, we got to wrap up. We're cutting into 92 minutes of continuous rock, or at least 92 minutes of continuous rock.
Can I just finish what I was I'll be the mic went out real quick. I was saying Jay's on right now. Jay Leno's being interviewed, and his hair's got like bedhead, which we think is great.
It's awesome.
What a comic. Just go on national TV, big news, bedhead. He doesn't care.
He don't care.
But they could not justify letting this guy walk in this economy. You can't let that much money and a guy who's that powerful in the ratings walk out the door. Leno won. He won.
Conan kind of loses on this one.
That's a big hit for Conan, I think.
I think it's a huge hit on him. He'll still get his younger demos, but he was looking for the big hit in the ratings. Having everybody checking him out. But, I mean, so Leno's on at 10 on NBC. So you get the jokes, you get the current events, you get the celebrity interviews, and then you do your local news. Why would you stick around for the late night shows at that point? Right? I think it's a brilliant move.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't let Leno go.
We really got to go, but a quickie. Yeah. We promised the people we'd have an update on the Butt Bandit. Hope Marcy isn't listening. This might be a little saucy, too.
Oh, boy, Marcy.
The word is pirate. I'm not a bandit.
This is a little weird. It's out of Nebraska. The Butt Bandit is going to get 13 months in jail. 13 months in jail.
Where his nickname will not change.
Oh, boy, more gay humor. Not good,
yes.
Anthony. Marcy's paying close attention. This is weird, because this is like a fraternity prank, and the guy's going to do like 13 months in jail. A man dubbed the Butt Bandit for making... How do you not love this guy? For making greasy imprints of his nether parts on windows in the north-central Nebraska city of Valentine has been sentenced to more than a year in jail.
For that?
Yes.
Damn.
Were people in the restaurant or whatever? That's funny.
That's hilarious. It's a dumb prank. Cherry County Attorney Eric Scott says police caught 35-year-old Thomas Larvey in the act on November 19th. Are they... there's been other people that have been arrested and charged with a sexual offense because they've mooned like school buses and stuff, right? And then they have to register as a sex offender. Maybe that's where they're going with this. Scott says Larvey was sentenced Thursday to 13 and a half months in jail after being convicted of 8 misdemeanor counts of public indecency and 1 of disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace.
You know, there are guys who probably have committed real sexual crimes, like
they're all lumped in
themselves
together
in front of whatever they would do it, in front of people that are not getting that kind of time in jail.
No, of course not. Authorities said Larvey used lotion or petroleum jelly to make imprints. Got to give this guy a raise. Of his naked behind and sometimes his groin area. On the windows of stores, churches, and schools in Valentine, beginning in the spring of 2007. Townspeople, they had fun with this. They dubbed him the Butt Bandit, even though no theft was involved.
Were people there when he did it, or would he do it at night?
I would imagine that, well, it says disturbing the peace. 1 disturbing of the peace. So maybe he thought no one was around and they were. It sounds like he was doing this, when everyone went home for the day. So...
God,
there's the update on the Butt Bandit.
Just for leaving greasy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, we got to get out of here.
That's
head over.
pretty disgusting.
I know.
It's funny as hell. Come on.
It's hilarious. Unless they're not telling us more in the story. Where he purposely did it with kids around and all that, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like just like some kind of dude just doing kind of a fraternity prank thing.
It sounds like, It sounds like he would do it at night because people said they would walk in their stores, see the imprints, and go, we've been hit.
Oh, really?
And they finally caught him apparently on a security camera, a surveillance camera at a middle school.
Oh.
Yikes.
So that's probably what was his
That's where he made a mistake.
Yeah.
Got to leave the middle schools alone, I mean. All right, we got to get out of here.
We got Dana White calling in 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to do the walk, and here in New York, they're going to start the rock and roll for everybody. At least 92 minutes of nonstop rock. No commercials. Like, they're going to play some sweeper, I guess, and get right into it.
Can I mention one thing? I'll be in Atlantic City the 16th and 17th of January.
Nice.
I think one of the shows is sold out at the Borgata. So that Martin Luther King birthday weekend, I believe it is.
Very cool.
I'll be at the Borgata.
All right. With that, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Later.
We're live. It's Opie and Anthony. We're live, yeah.
Plenty of share.
I want to get into the Fez crying thing, but we got Dana White calling in any moment.
Really?
He's promoting the UFC Fight for the Troops. That's tonight at 8 p.m. on Spike TV. Go to UFC.com for details, right?
Yes.
Why fight our own troops is what I don't understand.
I don't know. I try to talk to Dana about that.
It doesn't, it's not a patriotic thing to do.
Fight for the troops.
Oh, I had a typo. I'm sorry then.
Imagine if it was Fight the Troops.
Fight
that would
the troops.
be a hell of a
You just go there. It would be short. It would be a short fight.
Well, are they allowed to have their weapons?
Yes, of course.
So the troops get guns, UFC guys, fists.
And they get fists. They get like, different holds. Like that. And the fun thing is, when they start closing in on them, they get shot in the head and fall right down.
They don't even get to touch
They can't even, they tap out with their skull on the ground.
That would be funny, though, if he just sent fighters over there and the troops had to use, and they just bullied and beat up troops for no reason.
For no reason.
But then they're like, well, how is this helping anybody?
Like on the chow line, when they don't have their weapons with them or something, you just grab someone and just start elbowing them in the face.
Guys,
how horrible would that be?
Guys, like, how bad, what a bad hit it would be for the UFC publicity-wise. Like, the guy's over there just, after, like, he asked for an autograph, and, like, Josh, like, Koscheck just, like, kicks him in the throat and knocks him down and yells liberal ideologies and runs away.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Hey, we got a gay guy. Let's say.
I have a complaint. I don't like the idea of you saying troops should be beaten.
Let's go to Jack in Maryland. Jack.
Hey, guys. First, I just wanted to say, Jimmy, I took my boyfriend and two of our lesbian friends to your late show on Friday, and they all loved it.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then there was some ass sex afterwards, I'm sure. That's great. You gay guys are so lucky.
Hey, Jack, I know we confused the issue here on the show, but we definitely support the gay, so.
I know. I've
You
been
keep
listening to
being
you
gay.
guys since 2001, and I've never once been offended by anything you said.
Don't go turning straight.
Yeah, we need our gays to listen to this.
I know how you gay guys sometimes, double dip.
But I just wanted to thank you guys for saying something to that bitch Marcy, because it really pissed me off that she was speaking up for us when I'm not offended by you guys at all.
Hey, we'll speak up for you homos whenever you need it. We're here for you.
Absolutely.
We're a fan of Anthony. Thanks.
We're a fan of the queer.
Yeah. You could explain your deviance to the Lord someday.
That's right. You're on your own when it comes to that, but we'll help you out as you're on Earth here.
What's your last name? Offman?
What's his first name?
Jack. See, Jack Offman.
Oh.
That's simple but effective for a queer joke.
I wanted to tell Marcy that she's got to understand that gays have a sense of humor too.
They got to.
I think they would appreciate what we were kind of doing with that whole, calling
they
gay
do.
thing.
It's right and wrong they have no sense of.
How do you not have a sense of humor when there's balls on the bridge of your nose?
Absolutely.
Make little googly eyes with them.
Just so much you can do with that, right?
You gays get to have so much fun.
All right, listen, we got to be men now because we got Dana White on the phone there.
I know. I don't like taking calls about man-on-man sex and then going to Dana. You feel silly.
Hey, Jack, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Later.
All right, Jack. Thank you, man.
All right.
Come on, GM. Go past 5. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
We missed the obvious, and Dana could wait for another 30 seconds because we got to linger longer here. Mike in Jersey, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, that story that you did over on the terrestrial side, was that the butt bandit about Jill Nicolini there?
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
At this point, it's like, leave the girl alone.
Jill alone. What are we doing?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
All
right.
It's
are we banning Jill jokes?
It's not like a banning thing. It's just like it's such an old hat now.
Leave her alone.
I mean,
Good line though. Come on. All right. I'm sorry.
It's just one of those, man.
All right. We're in the moving on stage.
It's
that's fair.
Damage has been
fair
done.
enough, sir. Fair enough. Dana White, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Are you a fan of the gay?
I'm not offended by gay guys, no.
No, are you a fan of the gay?
Am I a fan of it? What exactly does that mean?
You support what they're up to, I guess.
Yeah, we just had this conversation the other day, me and a bunch of my guys. Yeah, I don't, I could care less what people do in their own bedrooms.
There you go.
That must have been awkward, though, with a bunch of UFC guys, because they're all really masculine guys, and they're probably talking, like, sitting around going, yeah, man, fuck them. I don't want them at our shows. And then one guy was just kind of piped up, well, they should have the right to get married.
Yeah.
One guy's sensitive like a Liddell or somebody.
We're talking about how those guys, how they, they had the right to get married, then they took it back, and I think people waste too much time on worrying about shit they shouldn't be worrying about.
I agree.
What people do in their own bedrooms is nobody's fucking business.
Exactly. What the hell? I don't care. I'm not. I don't go that way, but I don't give a shit. Whatever you do.
Hey, I could care less.
Pork each other in the ass.
Pat from Menard has a great line. I'm behind the gays 100% because I ain't standing in front of them. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I want to continue with this for one more second. Well, wasn't the guy that beat up Kimbo Slice gay?
Yeah.
I think he was metrosexual. I don't think he was gay.
You don't? Oh, okay. I heard
he's very metro.
Not that. I mean, I was just wondering because the whole pink thing, and supposedly I heard he was.
Maybe he is.
You after that fight, you actually wanted Elite XC to be investigated for fixing fights.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What do you think was going on with Kimbo Slice? Because I'll say this: you're one of the only real, I guess, CEOs who speaks his mind, and you really blasted Kimbo early on.
Yeah, well, the thing was that drove me crazy was that, first of all, that the CBS deal, we were talking to CBS for a long time. Those guys said, you know what, let's go out. We don't need these guys. We'll do it ourselves. They go out and they get, Kimbo Slice, a guy who was fighting in people's backyards, and I knew he wasn't real. Everybody was all hyped up on this guy, because he was, because of his YouTube videos. He's not a real fighter. And for the last 10 years, I'm in a hotel room right now in North Carolina. I mean, I've been traveling all over the world trying to build this sport, and we got this guy out there now on CBS, a guy who can't fight. And it drove me crazy. So I just kept saying, everybody thought he was so tough, and I said, this guy isn't tough at all. They're building their company around a guy who actually can't fight. Kimbo's always going to be the toughest guy at the barbecue, but he's never... He's not a real athlete, and any of the guys in the UFC would annihilate him.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, they had a chance to do business with you guys, and you have such a legitimate thing.
Yeah, you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah, and legitimate fighters, and it is worldwide, and yet greed. And I'm not saying that, corporations, man, but a couple of dumb lawyers probably said, we can make money on this. Why should we cut in the UFC?
That is exactly what happened. You're not kidding. That is exactly what happened.
And who was he supposed to fight? He's supposed to fight... who was Kimbo supposed to fight? And it was changed last minute. It was Frank.
Yeah. It was
Shamrock.
Shamrock. It was Ken Shamrock.
The day of the fight somehow.
Right.
And they ended up putting in Seth Petrozelli, a kid who actually fought on The Ultimate Fighter and didn't win the show. And what we ended up finding out is that the reason I went crazy is they paid Seth Petrozelli not to go to the ground with him. They say, hey, listen, don't go to the ground with this guy, or don't use your Muay Thai, or whatever. He ends up knocking him out anyway.
How did you find that out, that that it wasn't just somebody just kind of...
Petrozelli said it on a radio show.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of... Now, is he putting his own fighting career in danger by admitting he took money to do something in a fight?
No, basically what they said was, they didn't say throw the fight, per se. They said, don't go to the ground with him. Just stand up with him.
And what was there...
Here's the thing. You the fan, okay, you're a mixed martial arts fan, you're tuning in to watch a fight, and you think, because they're calling it mixed martial arts because it's what's popular right now, but at the end of the day, you didn't know, or what if you bet on it?
Right.
What if you bet on Seth Petrozelli because you think, wow, if this goes to the ground, this kid could submit him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But little do you know, scumbag promoters went behind the scenes and told the kid, don't go to the ground, okay? And now you're watching kickboxing. That's not mixed martial arts. And what I said is, listen, assholes, you want to go promote something? Go promote kickboxing, because that's what that is. That's not mixed martial arts. You know how much strategy advice I give my fighters? Zero.
Yep. I
put on a fight. They have trainers. They train and come up with a game plan, and they go in and fight however they want to fight. I don't ever tell them, anything to do with the strategy in the fight.
And what if Kimbo knocks him down? What is the guy supposed to do? Like, get up or jump up and bring Kimbo to the ground? How is he supposed to handle that?
Right. Yeah, it's bad. That's the kind of shit that I don't want in mixed martial arts. It's the stuff that, when we used to watch boxing matches back in the day we used to wonder, I don't ever want people to wonder about that in this sport.
Right.
This sport's still so pure. And so, Believe me. That's why I used to go. So everybody thinks I'm like anti-competition or something. And listen, I have no problem with competition. There's tons of mixed martial arts events that happen every weekend. You don't ever hear me talking about them.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't the Elite XC now done, though?
Yeah, they went out of business.
Yeah, they're done, so.
Let me ask you, though, you guys are a very pure sport as far as the talent. The system, because people have asked, like, all right, you have Brock Lesnar, who's now, he's champion, and it was his 4th fight. Is there something flawed in the system, or is there going to be like some kind of a boxing ranking thing where you have to fight for X amount? And how is that going to work? Because it seemed like it was just, we want to get a marquee star, although he certainly was the better fighter or deserves to win.
That's the reality. The reality is that, my job is to go out and find the most talented guys I can find to come into the UFC and to put on good fights. That's what my job is. I saw Brock Lesnar. He came to me. We talked, and I said, God, I think it's a little soon for you to come into the UFC. I think you're talented, this, that, but you should probably get a couple more fights before you come in. And his thing was, I'm either good at this or I'm not. I want to fight nothing but the best. You have to understand this. This guy was a top wrestler in college. All-American wrestler, number 1 ranked heavyweight, et cetera, et cetera. He comes into the... then he went into the WWE, made a bunch of money, goes and actually plays football for the Minnesota Vikings. Had it not been for his age, he probably would have made the team. That's what an incredible athlete this guy is.
How old is he?
What's that?
How old is he?
He's 29 or 30.
Okay.
Which is a little old for football.
Yeah, exactly. So he comes into the UFC. Everybody's against him, this WWE guy's trying to come in. We put him in against former world champion Frank Mir. He almost beats Frank Mir.
Yeah,
Some people say if that ref didn't stand it up when he stood it up when he probably shouldn't have, he'd have won the fight.
Right.
All right, so we're like, all right, this guy's definitely got some potential. Then we put him in against Heath Herring. I honestly didn't think he was going to beat Heath Herring. Not only did he beat Heath Herring, he beat the shit out of Heath Herring. He put a beating on him like I couldn't believe. That was when I said, this guy's for real, and this guy's ready. And a lot of people are hating on him because, he got a title shot so fast, but obviously he was ready.
Well,
anybody who saw that fight.
He beat Couture. I honestly didn't think he'd beat Couture, even though there was the age difference. But Randy's like one of those guys, didn't he beat Gonzaga after he had his arm was broken?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a dude he's just fought too many good fighters.
Exactly. That's what you have to understand. You're exactly right. What people don't understand is they're blinded by this thing for Lesnar because he came from the WWE or they don't like his attitude. You have to understand the guys that Randy Couture has beat, and everybody's saying, well, it was just because of the size difference. Well, Randy Couture's fighting at heavyweight. He fought Tim Sylvia, who was the same exact weight as Lesnar and 7 inches taller than Lesnar.
Let me ask you something, Dane, about the Randy Couture fight. What do you say to the people that feel like Couture might have thrown the fight to get out of his contract?
Oh, Couture.
No, I know it's I know what you're going to say,
under
but
contract. Anybody that says that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's one of those rumors that has made their way around the internet a little bit. So I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, he didn't. Number one, he would. First of all, Randy Couture would never do that.
Yeah, we've met him, and he seems like he has too much pride to do something like that.
And he's still under contract.
Right.
I still have him for 3 fights.
There you
and
go.
He's a competitor, man. A guy on that level of competition, when you're at that age where you're probably going to fight a few more fights, I don't think you want to throw there's much more glory to beat a guy like Lesnar than to throw a fight.
Absolutely. And you're at that age now, too, you're talking about your legacy, and you're talking about making more money with wins.
And, oh, sorry, Gab.
No, that's it.
I said losing that fight, because everyone was talking about him fighting Fedor. To me, losing that fight makes Randy a less interesting candidate against a guy like Fedor, who looks unbeatable. I'm sure he's not unbeatable. But, now you think, you guys have, Nogueira fighting Frank Mir.
Yep.
That's on the 27th, UFC 92 on pay-per-view.
And the winner of that, is that who's going to fight Lesnar?
Exactly.
So we're looking at
Lesnar.
We're looking at a rematch possibly here.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir again.
Yep. Lesnar Mir or Lesnar Nogueira, both good fights. So.
Yeah, I understand that, but obviously the fans want to see Lesnar take another shot at Frank Mir
after a little more experience.
Sure.
And that's December 27th, UFC 92. You got some really good fights. It's been headlined by by Forrest Griffin, who beat Rampage at the fight I went to, which really was kind of hard to watch Rampage lose because I like him. And
He's taking on Rashad Evans, who
beat Liddell.
Liddell, sure.
Another one. I'm glad I wasn't at that one.
Now the Rampage, and Rampage is fighting for the first time since all his problems, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, Rampage actually took off and went to England. He's been in the UK.
Yeah.
He's been out in the country in the middle of nowhere training with Michael Bisping in his camp. Czech Congo's with him. He put together a pretty good camp out there, and he's been there for a long time. So he's very serious and focused for this fight. You know, him and Vanderlei Silva, a company from Japan called Pride that we ended up buying, they fought twice out there, and Vanderlei beat him twice. So this is a serious grudge match. These guys are both talking a lot of shit. It's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be interesting just to see Rampage back in the game.
Absolutely.
Did he explain, like, what exactly happened that day? That was such a crazy day, and then it kind of went away. Is he all right, and what was going on with him?
Yeah, he's okay. What happened was, after he lost the fight to Forrest Griffin, stayed in Vegas. You know, he's got a whole religious side to him, too. And he went on this fast, okay? And he's hanging out by the pool. He's not eating. He's not drinking. He's only drinking energy drinks. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't know where he came up with this one, but Lorenzo and I had dinner with him the Sunday before he went back to California, and we thought he was weird. You know, I thought maybe he was drinking or something. Had a couple drinks. He said he came from the pool, and he wasn't acting like himself. 2 days later, I hear this thing happens, and I'm like, I don't know what. It's just not Rampage. It's not his personality. I'm like, maybe he must have done drugs. He must have done drugs, or he must be drunk. There has to be something. I jump on a plane. 20 minutes after it happens, I'm on a plane on my way to California. I get there, and long story short, it ends up he had something called delirium.
Wow.
When you get exhaustion, dehydration, it causes something called delirium, and that's what happened to him. And he got treated for it, and it's weird. And the treatment for it is they make you sleep. He had been up for days, had no food, was exhausted, was dehydrated, no water, and they made him sleep, and they put IVs in him to get fluid back into his body, and then he was 100% normal again. He was Rampage again.
Right on. We love that guy. We can't wait to have him back on the show.
Yeah, he's a funny dude, man.
He really is. He's the best.
He has an amazing personality. It leads us to what's going on tonight there, Dana. We got the UFC fight, for the troops on Spike TV, 8 o'clock tonight. What can you tell us about that?
Basically what it is this family from New York, the Fisher family, they've been doing stuff for the troops for years. And they built this facility down in Texas. And basically the kids that are coming back with no arms, no legs, and burnt really bad, like burnt, no nose, no eyelids, no lips, no ears. And they asked me to come down one time and visit the troops down there at this center that they had built. So I went down there, and I was literally blown away. You know, I've never done anything that, I don't know. Let's just say that I felt so good about going down and meeting these kids. Think about this, right? What people don't realize is the collateral damage that happens when these kids go over to Iraq and they come back like that, okay? Let's say your 19-year-old son goes over to Iraq to fight and comes back with no arms and no legs, okay? And he's laying in a hospital bed in Texas. What do?
You get him strong sleeping pills.
You quit your job, and you go down there, and you sit in a chair in a hospital room beside your kid for months and months, and sometimes years.
Horrible.
You don't pay your bills. You lose your house. You lose everything. A lot of these parents were sleeping in their cars.
Jesus.
It's crazy. You just don't. You don't think about that stuff when you walk around every day, you know. And then when you go down and see it, you're blown away. But the Fisher family, what they did is they raised all this money. They built this incredible rehab place down there for the kids, you know, for prosthetics and skin grafting and all the things, trying to get these kids, you know, as well as they can. And what they also did is they built these big, amazing houses where all the families can live in there together and stay there and visit their kids and be a part. And they have this built-in support system because they have other families. It's the craziest thing I've ever done.
Wait, Dana, is our government not doing that?
Dude, these guys, when these guys come back from, let's say your wife, you're married, you have one kid, or you have 15 kids. The way that it used to be was when you came, if your husband didn't come home, he died in battle, you got $5,000. Whether you had one kid or 15 kids.
It's amazing, this scumbag government of ours, which is, and I don't mean Democrat or Republican either, just the system in place is bailing out these fucking thieving Wall Street jizzbags, and they're like making families sleep in cars when their kid gets his arms blown off in fighting for the country. It's just
crazy.
fucking
You know what
revolting.
You just said is exactly what happens. We walk around every day. We don't realize. We're like, wait a minute. We're not taking care of the troops. We don't take care of our own. All this tax money that we pay doesn't take care of our kids that are coming home
That's amazing.
from Iraq.
It's embarrassing. It's
really
fucking
is.
embarrassing.
It's the least they could do.
I'm telling you. And when you go to one of these facilities, man, you wouldn't believe. I brought Mandy Moore with me one time, and every time we walked out of a room, she'd start crying.
Well, of course, she's a girl.
She was just blown away by
She was hurt that much by you, your manhood? that's great when you walk out of a room and a girl's crying.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah.
All the
Get
guys, if they had arms, they'd be giving you the thumbs up.
Aw.
They nodded affirmation, please.
Yeah, right.
Tonight, you got the fight tonight it's in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it's being headlined by Josh Koscheck, and I can't say the first name, Yoshiyuki Yoshida.
Right.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, and Swick is on that card tonight too. There's a lot of good fights. You know, Matt Wyman's on the card. A lot of good, tough kids on the card tonight. They're all fired up and excited to be here. Everybody's excited for the cause. We're actually on the base right now in Fort Bragg. That's where we're staying.
Oh, nice.
And so what we did, the UFC, we put together this fight for the troops. You know, normally we got a 10,000 seat arena here. We didn't sell one ticket. We're giving all the tickets to the troops and their families. Every dime, me, Lorenzo, and Frank, my two partners, are personally donating money to the charity. And, you know, we're asking people to call in and donate tonight.
That's great.
They're building a new place up in Maryland now. This one is for traumatic brain injury, for the kids that are coming home with traumatic brain injury.
Iraq?
Yeah, we got Iraq.
We a couple of people here that need to be sent there, to tell you the truth.
There's going to be a phone number on the screen tonight?
Exactly.
And my info is wrong in front of me. It's actually 9 p.m. on Spike TV.
Right, it's 9 o'clock tonight.
9 o'clock, UFC Fight for the Troops. And I got to ask you, where was our invite there, Dana? What happened?
For the fight for the troops?
Yeah, what happened?
Hey, listen, you guys are always invited. You know that. You guys know you're always invited.
I want the official.
You just got to pay for a ticket.
Yeah,
and,
I want the official invite to come in the mail, a nice little invitation, card.
Well, I'd have to be home to send it. I haven't been home in months. Here's your invitation.
This guy's quick on his feet. I like that.
He actually flew. Took care of Jimmy.
Yes.
He was going to take care of us, but we were busy that weekend.
Of course we were.
I wanted to go to the
Very busy
Atlanta
man.
one, man. So bad.
Well,
I had to bail at the last minute.
We'll definitely go to one.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
the 27th is a tough week because we're away, but I want to go to a championship fight.
Hell yeah!
I want
to do BJ Penn, George St. Pierre. That's Super Bowl Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl. It's a crazy, crazy time in Vegas. So it'll be fun.
What is it,
you
Dana?
guys are invited if you want to
Dana,
go.
January 30th?
January 31st.
Wait, Dana, why aren't you working on like a big UFC fight that we could all watch during the halftime crap?
Yeah, because I'd have to deal with a network to do that, and it's not easy.
No, but what they do is they all of a sudden
bounce over to another
yes,
station and do it.
that sometimes works.
Yeah, but you know what? Every year we've done the Super Bowl Saturday. It's a big event for us.
Yeah, very cool.
Let me before we let you go too. It's called the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a number on the screen tonight to call and donate, because the fact that the government isn't taking care of it, I mean, it's just sickening. We assume that everything's handled. You assume with the amount of money we're fucking hemorrhaging, and with the amount of bailouts they're giving, that they're taking care of things, but apparently not. Apparently they're too busy holding hands with these fucking savages over in Saudi Arabia in a garden.
Ugh.
So donate to this cause. It's a great cause.
Well, does Dana have a number or a website?
Yeah,
because there's listeners checking in now. They're like, I want to donate.
Yeah.
It's fightforthetroops.com.
Okay.
And I don't know the number off the top of my head. It'll be on the screen tonight. But let's say, if a couple million people watch the show tonight, I mean, if you can donate $1, if you can donate $5, believe me, I know times are tough right now for people, and but anything people can do would be fantastic.
Very cool.
And of course, I have to finish up with asking any movement on a Fedor fight with anybody in the UFC.
Hey, I'm waiting for these other knuckleheads to go out of business, and then, Fedor's eventually going to have to come to us. I mean, this guy, everybody wants to talk about that this guy's the best in the world. Then why doesn't he want to come fight the best in the world? It's not like I'm not offering him any money or anything like that. So when he's ready to come in and prove that he's the best, I'm ready to give him a fight.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
All right, well, Dana, good luck tonight, man. And it's a great cause, and a headline by Koscheck against Yoshida. And Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund on fightforthetroops.com. It's 9 o'clock on Spike TV tonight.
Thanks for the support, guys. You guys are always the best. I appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, Dana.
Later, guys.
Bye.
All right. When he was saying in there, what do you do? I was just thinking, I said sleeping pills, but it was a thought in my head. You know when you're having like a crappy run in your life?
Yeah.
And you get away from it by having a really good night's sleep? I would just be popping sleeping pills.
Oh, yeah.
And just enjoy my sleeping life.
Semi-consciousness for the rest of my life.
It would be like living a Pink Floyd album, but that's okay.
It is strange. This war has been like even worse than like Vietnam was supposedly a lot of covering up as far as bringing the bodies home. They didn't really want to show that, but the news really had access to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. The news has been cut off from this war, really cut off, especially when it comes to the war dead and the war injured. Mm-hmm. You don't see a lot of interviews. You see some shows on history and on the military channel.
It pops
and
up
things
here
like
and
that.
there, but
I mean, CBS and Fox and CNN. Where are these stories of the war injured and the dead, the funerals? They just have completely wiped it under the carpet. I heard Ronnie talking about it yesterday, and it is amazing that the Canadians, as a matter of fact, are in Afghanistan. They stayed out of Iraq, but they're in Afghanistan, and when their war dead come home, now they don't have as many troops over there as we do, but when their war dead comes home, there's a pretty much a tribute for every single one of them. They ride them down to the cemetery in this down the Highway of Heroes, it's called, and they really make a point of paying tribute to these guys. Right. And here it's like, oh my God, there's a news camera. Don't let them see the coffins. Don't let them see this. Don't let them see that. And it's not in this morbid way where you want to see it. I don't want to see one of those things coming home. But it's the fact of the matter that war is horrible. It's a terrible thing. And people, I think the way you prevent it is by remembering how awful and horrible it is and that people die and get maimed. And to cover it up like that is just a scam to try to play down how awful it really is.
I got to tell you, I think the media, if they really wanted to, could show some more of this, even though like Bush has made it very hard for the media to get access. But it doesn't make a good story. They'd rather talk about Oprah getting fat. During that whole interview,
that's embarrassing. Oprah getting fat, gets more coverage than these guys and what they're doing.
I got to tell you, Dana White is spilling his guts out about what's really happening, right, with these guys.
Was he? I'm sorry, I was trading stock.
But really fast, and then we'll get into the stock thing. He's spilling his guts like this is really what's happening with our boys when they come back from Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm looking over your shoulder as Dana's talking. CNN and MSNBC at the same time are doing stories on how Oprah, the billionaire, is fat and we should feel sorry for her.
Like, what the
It doesn't fucking make sense.
Who cares? Like, that's embarrassing.
I hope she chokes on her next donut. Who gives a shit about a billionaire not able to keep her weight down?
It really is embarrassing. And I think, no matter what side of the friggin' aisle you're kind of with, it's part of what's going on.
Hell yeah.
There is a war going on. There are people dying in it, and it's being swept under the carpet, they're just numbers. Every month you hear a new number, and there's no face or name or family put to it, and it's if I may say, a goddamn disgrace. It really is.
The Canadians are checking in. Thanks for mentioning the Highway of Heroes.
Ah, fuck you, Canada. Shut up.
Yeah, we still hate your guts.
I'm talking about you and your stupid highway.
Just the fact that's not paid for, though, man. The fact that you have to get donations. It's like
for a guy that lost his arms and legs and eyelids and his nose.
Oh my God! I was like, how long is he going to go on?
Fucking scumbags,
Lost
man.
everything.
Yeah,
scumbags we are as a country to fucking bail out.
They really
these
are. You know
pieces of
why? Because
shit.
again, it brings attention to it, and the last thing they ever want to do is bring attention to the horror that is a real war.
And the reasoning is then, young guys aren't going to be signing up because what they get to see is it's like a video game.
It's
show
like
the video game thing. Like, look how cool this could be.
If Shatner was here today, I would bring up an episode of Star Trek whereas two planets were fighting each other, Opie. It's an intergalactic kind of a war. And what they had done is they had advanced so far that they no longer fired missiles at each other and literally killed each other because they wanted to save each other's culture and keep that, because war destroys a culture. Thank you. And so what they did was they had these giant computers, and they would simulate the war, and then they'd say, hey, we just hit this city, 10,000 of you have to go to the disintegration chambers. And they would all line up and walk in, because that's the treaty with the other planet. If they didn't do that, then the real war would start, and then the people are going, but we don't want the and then you know what Kirk did?
What?
He blew the fucking computers up. He goes, now you're stuck with it. He goes, do you know what you've done? You've made it now that real missiles are going to come over and destroy our country. He goes, that is warfare. That is the horrors of war, and that is what... And you know what they did? They picked up the little hotline, they talked to each other, they got a diplomat, and they worked out their differences.
You know what William Shatner would say if he was here?
What would Bill have
after
said?
After that rant, he would say, I don't remember that. It was a paycheck. I read some lines on a fucking cue card, and I did my job that day, and I went and I banged some young broad in the cafeteria.
Dude, I was laughing.
He doesn't remember any of this shit.
I was
You
laughing
do, though.
about that last night so much. Like, I'd bring up an episode.
I had no idea.
And Shatner looked at me and goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
You had more knowledge about him than he did.
I was one of those geeks at the convention.
You think?
What
do you really
think? What do you think he does watch on TV?
I don't know. Porn.
Like everyone else.
Just hardcore porno.
Other
Imagine
stuff, I
Bill
wonder.
just spanking it.
I think
a
he's
nice mealy cum coming out of that 74-year-old dick.
77.
77, yeah.
77?
He's a fan of
I was
the
really lumpy then.
He's a fan of the fisting videos, I do believe. I think he's into good old fisting videos.
Prostate the size of Rigel 7. Oh, the Star Trekkies are laughing out there.
He likes HBO and stuff.
Are they really?
Shut up. He knew you're special.
All right. So we know what you were getting at, Jimmy.
I didn't think anybody got
No,
it.
we got it.
I just ignored me as you should have.
We're going to take a quick
There's
break.
a man on the stage.
Yes.
He's horrified.
He's mediocre.
Nah, he was a fan, Jimmy. UFC thing tonight at 9 o'clock on Spike TV. I'm going to take a peek now.
Yes, absolutely.
He made that worth checking out. When we get back, Fezzi was crying after Anthony called into the Ron and Fez show.
Didn't mean to make Fezzi cry. I just wanted to make a point.
I'm a regular listener, but I had the Barry meeting yesterday. Huh?
Fezzi is me between the age of 7 and 12.
What?
Crying
The crying
constantly.
thing.
I would cry at the drop of a hat.
The one day I don't listen, and then you get some good stuff going on with you calling, him crying. We'll play a few of the clips after the break and get into it a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Opie and Anthony.
Okay, Roddy.
Opie and Anthony.
Would it bother you if I sat like this all the time on the show?
What?
Would it bother you if I always sat like this during the show?
I'm not looking down, Jimmy.
But I mean, just to know that it's there.
I'm not looking down.
You don't have to. You can't see anything.
See what?
There's nothing to see.
I'm not looking.
But I have my feet.
Did you get a rod because of that picture up on Fox? Forever Young? Look at that one, Ant. Come on.
Who's that? He's dishy.
It's an old dude with like a young buck's body, and it says Forever Young. Pat from Menaki, thank you for turning us on to something. We're going to take a peek. Is it wrong that I'm jacking to teenage girls talking about texting their naked pictures? It's called sexting on the Today Show.
Oh, that's disgusting, Pat. Well, why would you watch something like that? Ugh.
P.S. Braces are hot. That's why.
Holy shit. Really? Really?
Well, the Today Show, but, you know, we fuck up and we're disgusting pigs, right?
How come I've never seen any of these pictures. They say, and then the pictures were posted on the internet.
You gotta be careful.
But no, I'm not going. Doug Stanhope had a great fucking bit about child pornography on the internet. And how the politicians say, you know, it's running rampant and it's terrible. And then he talked about all the sick fucking shit he's looked at on the internet and how in 2 seconds people shitting on each other and this, that. And he goes, and all the time he's never fucking seen child porn on the internet. And he goes, how rampant can it be running when I'm on there all the time just looking for any degenerate type of shit that he can, and he just hasn't seen it.
That means he's been searching for it.
Well, you know,
of course. He just had to keep it clean for
Doug Stanhope's a fucking
special.
Degenerate.
Right.
He's spelling kids K-I-D-Z, all these things to try to fool the system.
Right.
He had a fucking funny ass stand-up.
I know, he told us. I can't wait. I gotta check it out.
Check it out.
Is it still up there on demand?
I think it is. Yeah.
Showtime, right? I think it's a Showtime one.
I'm not even sure. I just popped it on and I just cruising through the channels and it popped on and he's drinking like a motherfucker. He's smoking. He's just cursing at the crowd. And it'll come out with like the strangest fucking thought.
Right.
And really funny. We gotta have him back on the show.
Stephen S. from Bayshore, but this is a fake Stephen S. from Bayshore.
What?
Yeah, someone's trying to trick us today. We all know that Stephen S. from Bayshore called in
gay
today.
Yeah.
And there's someone trying to play the part of Stephen S. from Bayshore, but we're smarter than that.
Imposter.
We are smarter than that. This fake Stephen S. from Bayshore writes, "Good news, Ope. I've had my fill of man-ass today, so I'm back to work. Thanks for the support."
Oh,
no.
We know he hasn't had his fill of man-ass, first of all.
Of course not.
That's a dead giveaway.
And by the way, there's no queers at F.H. Riley, Stephen S. He just kind of hangs out at the bar hoping and hoping and hoping.
Hi. Buy you a drink? Ugh. Two deep voices talking. So you come here a lot? Yeah. I like this place. It's right here in the heart of Huntington Village. Can I get you something? Well, drinking a Cosmopolitan, same thing. We'll get two. Could you stir mine with your cock, please?
We got to get serious for a second.
Man.
Nathan in Vegas, he was listening to the Dana White interview. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, hi, boys. Hey, Jimmy.
Be heard, my friend. Be heard.
Hey, when we buried my buddy Schwab, his parents had to hire the local veterans bikers group because those crazy fuckers were going to protest his funeral saying that we killed fags or whatever.
Oh, that fucking Westboro Baptist Church. Yeah, it's scumbag Shirley Roper and a disgusting family.
If it wasn't my buddy's funeral, I'd have shot her that day.
Yeah, I don't know how, obviously I'm not advocating violence. I never would on this program or anywhere else. Right. It's just, it astounds me with knowing human nature that somebody has not blown her fucking head off at this point. She does things that is probably the most offensive, most infuriating things you can do to a person in a certain circumstance. A loved one is dead, and you're mocking that person. You're saying that horrible things should happen to them in whatever afterlife they believe in. That wishing that more of them would die. Like, how does a person like that walk around and not have people just attack her physically?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
She's a fucking. The whole
Cunt.
organization of them are just. They're even beyond cunts. They're scumbags. They're lawyers.
Yeah.
She's a lawyer. A lot of them are lawyers. They know their rights.
Yeah.
Of course.
Rights are rights. Somebody racking your head in with a crowbar, a la Gordon Freeman, is no lawyer's going to fucking save you.
What do those bikers actually do?
They actually go from funeral to funeral and just hold American flags. There's probably 300 of them.
God bless
them. Line the streets on either side so that they can't get back to them.
God bless them.
And in the meantime, they sell crystal meth.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's what
we all know that. But
I'm a big supporter of the bikers. I have no idea if they do that or any illegal activity.
Whatever.
Yeah, so my buddy Schwab, we buried him, and they kept them guys away, and it was good.
Good.
Oh, good. Yeah, good for them. Good. Good that there's somebody fighting back. They hold up those fucking signs, and you just want to believe me. It's
you just wish there was a runaway car at that moment.
It's just knowing basic human nature. It's astounding.
I would never. I would never encourage people to do anything violent. But I will say this: if something bad happened to her, if some fucking maniac did that, I would be very happy. Who wouldn't be? Well, most of us would be.
Imagine the signs that would be at her funeral.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be payback's a bitch cunt.
Dead cunt had a child out of wedlock.
Yeah.
You know, God must love that. All right,
Hey guys,
Nathan.
I'm going to punch out, but can I pump my show real quick? And I hate to be self-indulgent like this after that call.
What type of show, sir?
It's actually a show that you guys encourage me to do.
Wow.
You guys are my main inspiration.
Look, what is it called? The Hang Up the Phone Show?
No, sir.
Oh, what is it?
No, it's imeme.com/show0.
I didn't even understand it. You could slow down and say it.
imeme.com.
imeme?
imeme.com.
How do you spell
How
that?
do you spell that?
Yeah, I don't know.
IMEEM.com.
EEM.
Show0.
All right. What is it?
Okay.
Your little podcast?
Yeah.
All right.
Call it a little podcast, poor guy.
Well, you gotta start
All right,
somewhere.
it's a little. Is it audio? Audio, video? What do you do?
Just podcast right now. We're working on video, and we can't get the soundboard to work to bring the sound effect in. We're retarded.
What do you want us to help you? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of music, man, I heard some fucking cool guitar recently.
Did you? From who?
Fred Durst.
Yeah, so did I.
We're gonna get to that. All right, Nathan, we got to move on.
All right, punching out. Thanks,
Thank
boys.
you.
Fred Worst.
Yeah, we'll get the Fred. We'll get the Fred Durst thing on in a second, but we've been promising, the ant making Fez cry.
Oh, yeah, I wanna hear that.
Poor Fezzy.
Yeah, they're gonna kill us if we don't
I'm
get
sorry.
this
I'm
on.
gonna have to apologize to Fezzy.
No, you shouldn't. You should find 100 excuses as to why you weren't wrong.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be like Marcy.
Yeah.
Name Marcy. Shut up.
It all started yesterday. Ant calls into the Ron and Fez show and calls everyone dishonest for not wanting to see women naked.
Not wanting to see Hermione from what the fuck is that? Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movies. Of course, she was very young when they started those movies. She's now 18 years old. She was asked if, now that she's 18, would she accept a role if it included nudity? And she said yes.
Without even
she would.
Without even thinking,
which
about
made
it, she said
everybody go like, "Wow,
that's
either
hot.
It would be very cool to see her naked. She's cute. I think she's got a nice little body on her and shit like that. She's of age, whatever. You're not gonna get in trouble.
Yep.
So yeah. But then everyone's like trying to make up these excuses why and why. Even Dave was kind of beating around the bush on that one. But Fezzy was just completely disgusted. Said he felt like he would feel like he was seeing his niece naked, which to me was a little creepier than me even wanting to see her naked.
Yeah,
was saying that like I feel like she's my niece. Mm-hmm. That's like All
right.
I think people were being a little dishonest. Perhaps not Fezzy. I don't know. Fezzy's the whole thing with Fezzy's choices in life. I don't know. His sexuality, whatever is. I really don't have a clue. It's none of my fucking business, to tell you the truth. I don't care either way. But I'm just saying, honestly, if you're a guy, you want to see her naked.
Yeah.
She's a hot girl, attractive. Why the fuck wouldn't you? I don't care when you first saw her.
It's very similar to Alyssa Milano, getting naked. We were all running out to go, wow, I got to see that.
Yes.
It's
How old was a girl, or how young was a girl that you ever knew that you then went out with and or had sex with later in life?
I was a late bloomer, so I'm out of this one.
All right.
So you remember like girls
Jimmy
in, let's
Norton?
say, kindergarten or something, and then...
Yeah. Oh, Uncle Paul now.
And then you go out with him the next year. You take him out for some ice cream.
Oh, Uncle Paul.
You have one?
Yeah. I knew a girl when she was 8 years old and never, obviously didn't even give her a fucking, at the time of day. She was the annoying younger sister of my girlfriend.
Oh, how old was the girlfriend?
15.
Wow. Okay, and then how many years? 2, 3 years went by?
Yeah, two long years.
You guys were at AAF?
And then, I went out with her later in life.
Later? I don't have one of those. I wish I had a story to follow up yours. What? Let me see.
How old were you?
I love you. And she was what?
I love doing math with Anthony.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God! I fucking love Ann.
Dude, come on.
Stan hopes you talk to Ann about certain sites.
No, it was.
Direct you right
Look.
to it. Yeah, Ann knows where to go.
Look.
Just leave it at that. Let's get into
I've
the
no
audio.
defense.
No, you don't. Except a nice hard dick.
Except the statute of limitations.
All right, Aunt
have saved me.
Yeah, it's snug glove. Someone calls a vagina.
Aunt calls into Ron Fez and calls everyone dishonest.
Yes.
What do you say, Aunt?
Hi, guys.
What do you say, buddy?
Yeah, I had to chime in on this. Everyone's so goddamn dishonest. It's pathetic. You're all a bunch of lying sacks of shit. The chick is fucking 18 and hot. Hot as hell. Who wouldn't want to see her naked? I don't care what the fuck. Every girl at some point is a kid. They're not owned and you know. She's a beautiful 18-year-old young woman that I would love to, and contrary to what you said there, Ronnie, I would go to the movie just to see her naked. I could care less what the story is.
I wouldn't do that. I would just get the screen caps.
Yeah, that too. You know, I thought of that later. I wouldn't even go to the movie.
No, I
I would
think you
wait, get all the because you can't, rewind, freeze frame. You can't jerk off in the theater.
Speak for yourself. Have you seen Wall-E?
Jesus. I think the curiosity would get the best of you, and you'd have to check that out. Well, of course.
Yes. Yes, it would probably be one of the most downloaded fucking pictures. It would be one of those things.
Did Ronnie agree with you?
I don't know. I get so captivated with my own voice, I don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah, no shit.
What?
It says Fez is creepy. It continues.
I think it's creepier what Fezzi's saying about, like, she seems like your niece. It's
right.
Like, ugh, that to me is creepy. She like, yeah, she was a kid, then she grew up, she's hot. If she wants to take her clothes off, that's fine. To think of her as like some kind of little niece that to me is creepy instead of wanting to see her naked.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a great point, Aunt.
Yeah.
Like, these are just dopes on TV or on the screen in the movie theaters. You're not supposed to have a connection with them after you see the thing.
You know what it is, though? Fezzi he's a very sensitive guy. He's got this very maternal type of thing with certain people and
paternal
kids. No, maternal. Believe me, I knew the difference, and I went with the one that was more accurate. It's just one of those things where he's very caring and stuff like that. So he found that weird. Fez isn't the norm, where it's like he's the unique. Average person. He's where unique. You would talk. I'm really talking about the average person there. But the thing with the niece thing was a little odd.
Well, I mean, when we all saw Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, I was affected by that when I left the theater. Like, God damn it, why the fuck is this guy dead? But then you start living your life again, and you're kind of like, then you're kind of done with it, right?
Yeah.
But he really, he keeps it going for a little too long, thinking the whole niece thing.
Yeah.
Fez gets upset. We finally get to hear Fez. Gets upset after Ant's call.
I'm going to feel bad about it.
You haven't heard this yet.
I was pulling up in my driveway right at the end of my call.
Right.
And then I got out, and I had shit to do around the house. Keith was there, so I didn't get to listen to the rest of the show. So I didn't even know about this. This is the first time hearing this.
I haven't heard this either. So you create this mess, and then
maelstrom,
and then you assume someone will just clean it up for you.
Yeah, clean up now. I'm going inside.
Well, this is what happened after you hung up, Ant.
Well, everybody has different opinions. It doesn't make one person wrong or right.
Yeah, I just feel stupid sometimes.
Why would you feel stupid?
Oh, no.
You know what? I don't want to see Hermione naked. How's that? Fez is the big winner today.
No, see, that doesn't work either.
Dave, what about you?
I don't want to see that little bitch naked.
I know.
I don't want to see her
neither
naked.
does Anthony. Was it when Anthony called up and said, you're a bunch of fucking liars, you do want to see her naked? But I don't take that personally, neither should you.
Oh, I try not to. But it makes me think, Fez, you should really think more.
What?
Poor Fezzi.
Yeah,
let me. You know what it is.
Crying?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
but
no.
you can hear it building up.
Oh, yeah.
When I said you're all a bunch of fucking, you're all full of fucking shit or anything, you're all fucking liars or being dishonest, I didn't mean the Ron and Fez show. I was addressing the audience because it's kind of a reflection of that. And I'm not backpedaling. Believe me, I would say
The majority of people that listen to this channel
I just mean,
would be in agreement with what you said.
Yeah, but they wouldn't say it.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Right.
I wasn't calling Fezzi a liar or Ronnie or any of those guys a liar, except Earl, because he says he works. That
was a good one. But Fezzi has an opinion.
I like doing that after every joke now.
And Fezzi has an opinion.
Since my incendiary fucking
That was
bombing
awful.
of fucking Dresden.
It was amazing. But Blitzkrieg.
It really was.
But Fezzi has an opinion. He should hold tight to that because now he's feeling bad. That
Now he's feeling bad, right?
That he doesn't think like everybody else. It's fine that that's how he feels.
He has an opinion. He found it creepy that other people would want to see her naked. I said I found it creepy that him with the niece thing, feeling like she was be more like a niece. So we just have a different opinion on it. It doesn't mean he's wrong or right, or I'm wrong or right. It's our own opinion. People would call me a fucking pervert. They do.
Well,
I am.
Not to your face.
but no, not to your face.
What is that? What movie?
Caddyshack.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, they don't say that. As far as you know.
Right. Yeah, that's one. But the last couple seconds of that piece bothers me. That Fezzi's like, it makes me feel like I have to think more.
Yeah,
or something
no,
like that.
Fezzi's just got to be Fezzi.
Right, just
That's
be Fezzi.
it. Just be little Fezzi. He's so lovable.
I think when Fezzi decides to just be Fezzi,
yes,
I think he's going to realize that life isn't that bad. I know. I think he'll be able to solve a lot of the things that are going on in his head when he just decides to be Fezzi.
You know what's great? Everybody
That's
goes
all.
through a point in their life when they're depressed about something, regardless of what it is. Psychological, something physical, whatever it is that depressed you. When you start coming out of that, and you don't wake up one day and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I feel dandy. But you do realize you're going, you know something, this isn't bothering me as much, and I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel better about this, that, or the other thing. When he gets to that point, it's going to be so fucking good for him. He's just got to realize that it will get to that point someday. It really will. But until then, it's just an awful thing to have to go through. The uncertainty, the whole thing of not knowing if he's ever going to feel genuinely good, but he will, and when that happens, he's going to be so fucking happy about it.
It's very freeing.
And I only wish that for Fez.
Absolutely.
I love the little son of a bitch.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't harm one goddamn hair on his psychotic fucking head.
Face on his chin.
If he was coming in today, I'd give him a big old hug, Ant.
Oh,
a big old hug.
Guy should be on the back of a fucking train in 1800s running for president.
Well, that's just part of the beer thing they're doing. He'll look normal again soon.
Yeah.
Here's where Fezzi starts to cry. I haven't heard this yet, but
oh no, this is so upsetting.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was it?
Me feeling stupid.
Because Aunt wanted to see Hermione naked, and I said let an actress act.
I mean, everyone else's opinions really made sense to me after I heard them.
But there can be more than one fucking truth.
Yeah, I mean,
even though I do disagree with you, you have a right to your opinion.
Yeah, it just felt like a mistake after some other mistakes today.
What was the other mistakes?
Oh, I fucked up the phones.
Oh, no.
What'd you do to the phones?
I didn't have them on.
Oh, Fez.
And that happens in radio, dude. That's part of the thing of radio. Well, Anthony, I hope you're very happy with yourself.
Oh, thanks, Ronnie.
Should I give him You brought up the fact that you wanted to bang an 18-year-old girl, and now Fezzi feels bad.
And that's how it ended.
Holy shit! Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, the thank you, Ronnie, was added live as we're
Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't
tape.
part of the tape. I just felt compelled to talk to a recording.
Can I ask a question, though?
Yes.
Why didn't Fez have the phones on?
Don't say... Jimmy.
I love Fez.
Jimmy.
But hold on. There's a reality. There are phones.
Oh, my God.
They have to be on.
You're an asshole. Ixnay on the Ownsfay.
I'm just curious. There might be a logical answer.
Wow, that
this big rig.
Look at us with our ATD.
Wow.
A rig
pulled up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, he's
hey, he didn't double park.
No, but it looks like a runaway truck. You got a lot.
Runaway truck.
Ron Bennington is not alone.
It's like, how many mistakes will be tolerated on a radio show?
Oh, leave the guy alone. It's the phones. He made a mistake.
Yeah, leave him alone.
He was so upset about it.
I can't find
it. It's that crackly voice he gets. It's so upsetting to listen to. It breaks your heart when you hear it.
I can't find the feedback I want to read.
He's just the happy. When he's the happy Fez, one of these days he's going to be the happy Fez again.
That's
all
right.
the time.
Absolutely, no
and
doubt.
He's just going to enjoy the hell out of it. And you know what? The only regret he'll have is the time wasted being so sad and so overly sensitive about everything.
And neglecting duties.
No, Jimmy. Shut up.
Fezzi's got the world on his shoulders right now.
Oh.
My God.
Oh, the phone.
You can't keep all that weight up. Ron in San Antonio. Aunt, you're so mean and heartless making Fezzi cry like that. Absolutely. And, of course, it updates in the middle of that. Of course it does. Absolutely despicable. Signed, Joan Crawford.
No.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
I'll tell you who else wasn't happy with it. Alexander Graham Bell.
You know who I feel for the most? Ronnie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's like, come on, pal.
What happened, buddy?
You okay, buddy?
What's wrong today, buddy?
The phone. The phone's Ronnie.
It's going to be okay, buddy. No one talks about how Ronnie's a saint. No, we love Fez. We're just fucking around.
Of course we love Fez. We also love when things are done.
Bestest. No, things are done.
I'm not saying they're not.
There was a problem with the phones, apparently.
Yep.
All right,
and then there was the discussion that we had.
One day it's the phones, whatever.
Obviously, Fezzi's never listened to this radio show. Oh, my God.
I know.
Yeah, right?
We'd be in hysterics every day.
Yeah, we'd be fucking crying all the time. The CD player.
And I love Fezzi so much. What I want to do today is play Eastside Dave's Christmas song.
Ah, yes.
Ronnie demands it.
Well, of course, on the Ron and Fez show, they're looking for original Christmas songs. Everyone's sick of these same old Christmas songs.
Sure.
We're starting something new. Get some new Christmas songs in there. And I guess Dave threw his hat into the ring, as they say.
I hear he sung this with his mom or something. Something like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's my second favorite new Christmas song from the Ron and Fez show. Right behind Sleeves. And there's some confusion. I actually like the Sleeve song a lot. Anthony, no confusion, hates it more than he's ever hated it.
Hate it more.
Right. And Jimmy, hate not as strong as
I feel like, first of all, I have a scab in my nose and it hurts a lot. Second of all, I feel the way about Sleeves' song that I do like when you step in dog shit wearing someone else's shoes. Like, this is just not funny. There's no laughs to be had there.
You know what's terrible? While you were doing that, I was trying to think of a joke for there's a scab up my nose, because the scab is a worker that goes in when people are on strike, and when people are on strike, they pick it. So I was trying to get a picket for the nose and a scab, and thank God you were you were diving in for a bombing while I was thinking of that one.
But your explanation didn't help your cause.
No, it didn't.
Because I saw you were doing that. Anthony was trying to still think on the fly while he was talking.
No, I was done thinking on the fly. I realized that I wasn't opening the Bombay doors on that one.
There's a scab in your nose, or the real workers going to pick it?
See that? Yeah, I was going for something like that. Oh, I might have been trying to get a laugh just by explaining it.
Of course you were doing. Might have been. What you were doing is you were acting like you didn't see the doors open and the bomb fall out. So if it hit, it hit. If it didn't, hey, no, I wasn't trying to be.
Okay.
What was my bomb? It was so awful. I wiped it out like a childhood rape.
Yeah.
Which one?
No, this last one.
Oh.
The one with the shit on the shoe, maybe.
No. Someone else's shoes,
terrible.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's always
That's
worse
pretty
when
bad,
it's someone
too.
else's shoes.
Well, that was
Actually, it's not
horrendous.
as worse when it's in someone else's shoes. Why
That's
would you be
awful.
wearing someone else's shoes?
I'd rather listen
I
to
don't
audio
really know.
Gregory Hines tap dancing than of my last joke.
Well, here we go.
And he's dead.
Yeah. My second favorite Ron and Fez Christmas song as they try to get new Christmas songs out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Eastside Dave.
Pick it, Alice. I heard him, Ralph.
I don't know.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Ron and Fez Christmas time, and we talk of joy and cheer.
Very Renaissance fairish.
Pepper and Mooch had too much wine, and Earl sitting on his rear.
Christmas glee turns to Christmas glow in the Christmas halls of satellite radio.
Except for the Grinch, who's not very handy, and his name is Franklin Dandy Candy.
Franklin Dandy Candy.
Don is dandy. It tastes like candy.
I like it a lot.
Who's the bitch singing with him?
Oh, that's his mother.
That's his mom.
It's not a bitch.
It's Eastside
That's his
Dave's mom.
mother.
Who's the slit singing along with the song? Hey,
Oh, guys, I turn into the hole when it comes to Ron and Fez shows and their peeps.
Hey, she has a great cartoon voice.
Does she?
Yeah, she has that typical like cartoon voice. Like she could play like the older broad in like some classic like Christmas cartoon.
Oh,
Did you hear
she
it?
got a gig in that. Yeah.
She's got the
A little
voice.
raspy.
For it, I'm telling you.
Sounds like a raspy Dave.
Someone's saying the La La song is a copy of Everlast's song "Ends."
Oh, okay. I've
You
heard
know
Ends.
the song "Ends"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. How's it go?
I hate that song.
Da, 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 da.
All things have to end. La la la.
Oh, the ends. People fucking for the ends.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's pretty droning.
Our group sucks. La la la.
Yeah, this one. You know this one.
Song stop.
So you know
I was
that
going
one.
to go with it with you, but no. Come on now.
I like that song.
Hey, where's our live read?
You got a live read?
See, Fezzy, listen to our show. You worry about the phones not being on, and we're
If he
yelling,
was
where's the
supposed to
live
have,
read?
if
Live
he
in
was
our
supposed
show.
to have the live read and didn't have it right there,
Oh, that wouldn't be good.
hell to pay.
Did you know that office Christmas parties are one of the leading causes of infidelity, Anthony?
I never heard that before.
According to a recent article, 49% of people said if given the opportunity, they would have a quickie with a coworker at this year's office Christmas party. Did you know that,
Did you know that?
Anthony?
Your son is attempting. No, I didn't know that either.
All right. Ashley Madison understands this temptation to play with someone else's toys and wants you to know there's a safer place to get a little action on the side if that's what you're looking for. Did you know that, Anthony?
No.
Did you know that AshleyMadison.com is the #1 dating service for married people who are feeling neglected at home and looking for something outside their relationship?
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do, Anthony. Unlike the confines of your workplace, it's secure, anonymous, and now guaranteed. No tattletales.
I like that.
That's right. If you don't find someone on Ashley Madison, they're going to give you your money back, no questions asked.
Comments made, though? No questions asked, but comments made like they toss you money. You go, here, because you're an ugly fuck. You know what I mean? You get it? Pardon me.
But it might be me, so why don't you explain? It
Well,
might really
it says
be me
no
this time.
questions asked.
Right.
All right. Now, if Jim was here, he'd go, I know. I heard. Jimmy's holding his pee-pee right now.
No questions asked, but comments.
Comments made. See, they want to ask you, oh, what's that? What happened? Did you not enjoy the service? But they'll hand you the money and insult you. Like, you didn't get a check because you're you're ugly.
Who's talking about money with this thing?
It says they give you your money back. No questions asked.
Oh.
See? So if someone's handing you your money back and going, why am I trying?
I got it now, and I think it was me. I think you should have got a little something for that. We got a new person joining every 20 seconds. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So if you're looking to have an extra happy holiday, sign up right now, absolutely free. AshleyMadison.com. For the naughty and the nice. That's the tagline. For the naughty and
tag that.
The nice. Do you want to have nice sex or naughty sex?
It all depends. Is it the place or the feeling? Because if you're feeling naughty or nice, it's more of an emotional thing. Naughty sex, you really have to wash up afterwards.
Oh, naughty.
I'm talking ass.
Oh, naughty sex is in the shitter.
Is ass sex.
In the fart box.
Nice sex is just,
in the vagina.
Yeah, in the vagina.
You don't say twat or slit.
No, vagina.
It's just vagina. You keep
and then
nasty,
naughty sex, is in the anus. In the anus. I want to fuck her in her anus. Can I fuck you in your anus? Is that a way to get ass sex from a girl? Just be real literal and clinical.
Just saying anus takes you back to being in like 3rd grade.
The anus.
I want to sniff her anus.
Do you know some girl said anus in health class once in junior high?
Really?
She had a question in health class, and I would sit on my fucking hands like there's no way I'm asking a question. It's too embarrassing.
Right.
And she asked, she put her hand up and asked, like, is the anus close enough to the vagina where there'd be could something come through the walls? Like, she asked some dumb question, and dude, till this day, this girl's name was Pam Bernfeld. And I still, all I think when I think of her is that anus question. And I went to school with her for years.
You know why, right?
I wanted to fuck her anus.
Well, that's the obvious, but she was sticking things up her anus.
Up her anus?
And she was scared that she was going to break the wall in between the anus and the vagina.
I don't know what she was doing.
Why else would you
then.
ask that?
It is a dumb question, but you're a kid. What the fuck?
I'm guessing.
It's a logical question.
Do you know?
I would probably think that she was putting little fingers in her anus.
But the way she said anus made me feel funny.
How'd she say it?
She just said anus.
How'd it make you feel funny?
I think she might have said anus first. And then the teacher corrected her and said anus.
No, that's shit vent.
But all I think about, anytime I picture her in my head or anything, it's the anus girl.
Who hasn't had one finger in the... You have a thumb in the box and your middle finger in the fucking tuchus, and then you meet them...
Try to roll a strike?
Yeah. You meet them through the skin, and you poke your fingernails together through the wall.
Real tight.
And she's like, oochk, oochk.
Do a little roly-poly.
All right, we're out of here.
Yeah.
We want to go home on time for once.
Motherfucking A. I gotta go to the bank.
I gotta go to the bank.
Damn.
I gotta go to a bank, too.
Do some banking.
You want to donate a load.
You're going
to that bank.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All
right.
Oh, Aunt, don't be fresh.
AshleyMadison.com. That's how we end today. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If there's like a sponsor for the other thing, they could go screw. We'll make good tomorrow.
Bye-bye.